to number 45 and 47 because 46, well, we can't very well call that a president now, can we? I wore my favorite Donald Trump shirt, in homage to President's Day. And I have a little surprise for you. There's a pocket, and I love shirts like this. I have a lot of rip and dip shirts like that are like little cats, but they're flipping you off. I love this. So, anyways, yeah, that's what my Donald Trump does. Anyways, today I wanted to start off with some pretty light-hearted, funny stuff because, like, if you're on X, aka Twitter, formerly known as Twitter, um, it's pretty funny. It is. It's quite entertaining to say the very least. I got some really good news for you guys today. There's so much stuff to get into. But like Biden wins is an account. And of course, it's pro Biden and they are literally losing their minds right now. Donald Trump, as you guys know, put out some limited edition sneakers. It wasn't Donald Trump who actually did it, but he endorsed the company who did. These limited edition tennis shoes, they were gold and just glorious. They sold out in like that. There was only 1,000 of them made. They were all numbered. They're limited edition and they were $300. And boy, oh boy, did they sell out quickly. So the left is going crazy right now, right? The left is going nuts right now. Going the crowd booed Donald Trump at SneakerCon, and they literally the crowd was cheering, "Let's go Biden." But in all actuality, that is not what happened. I'm going to play the clip for you guys. It's so hilarious. Good morning, WAR. Hello, hello. I actually got the red pair. I did. I bought the red pair last night and I bought the Trump perfume. I spent like $280. I don't care, man. Who cares? And even on the website, it says these are not made by Donald Trump. He's not. It's a company, and if they support Trump, I'll support you. Anyways, so I want to show you guys this is so freaking hysterical because they're thinking like, oh, look at what the crowd is screaming. Let's go Biden. As you could imagine, it was definitely not that. So I'm going to play it for you right now so you guys can laugh with me because this is hysterical. Hysterical. Let me hide my comment here so I can show you. This is so funny. Wait, look at first of all, Biden wins. And this is what he says. Donald Trump arrived at SneakerCon and was met with only boos. And also, let's go Biden chants. This is amazing. wait for it. Wait for it. You guys ready for it? Watch this. This is hysterical. F Joe Biden. Let's go Brandon is what they said. And also they said FJB. I can't even, bless their hearts. Really though, bless their hearts for them, trying. The A, well, no, not an A for effort. That was definitely I was gonna be gracious and give them a C minus, but that's definitely F for epic fail, or E for epic fail. My God. Everyone's like, all I hear is FJB. And look at wrong, dumbass Photoshop. Wrong, dumbass. Oh my God. Here's my there's my response. I just speak GIF quite eloquently, if I do may say. Anyways, that was just one part of it, and they actually put in the real clip, and I did share it. For President's Day, let's honor the people who not only invaded Afghanistan and Iraq, invaded Crimea. I let Putin invade Ukraine, and then there's Donald Trump. Main tweets and world peace, please. Anybody else? Does anybody else want mean tweets and world peace again? I know I do. See me, I can handle mean tweets. Some people cannot, though. And it's quite entertaining. That's why I love Biden wins and Brooklyn Dad Defiant, because I found out some pretty interesting things about the paid shill that he is. He done some dirty stuff, y'all. I'm over here like, even in my addiction, I never stooped as low as this guy did, but I'll show you. I pulled it up. But here's what really happened. Here's the real clips, and here are the amazing sneakers that I wish I could have got my hands on. There's people buying them and selling them on eBay already for $17,000. But I always get news way too late. And we're going to get into some Fani Willis stuff. Oh, Lord, y'all. She is in some deep shit. I'm telling you, it's not looking good for Fani Willis. For the rain, no. God bless this man. I didn't hear boos. Did you guys hear any boos? The only boos that I'm hearing is that of the cup of Kamala Harris. Did you guys see that train wreck? Oh, that chick couldn't even say brilliant or inaugural. She was like, this chick was 3 sheets to the wind. She spoke better drunk than she does sober. I'm over here like, usually it's the other way around. Usually when you're 3 sheets to the wind, but she couldn't even say brilliant. You should have heard her. Oh my God. I was over here like, is this for real right now? Anyways, did you guys watch the trial? Oh, dear Lord in heaven. As soon as Nathan Wade basically, like, first Miss Yurty came on. Miss Yurty was a friend. Here's the skinny, y'all. Here's the dirt. I couldn't wait to talk to you guys about this. I've been so damn busy. My goodness, you have no idea. Here's the dirt, yo. First person up to testify was Miss Yurty herself. And everyone was like, oh, that's Rick James. Look at them chains on her glasses. I'm like, shut up. Shut up. She's going to tell the truth. And I knew she was. She right hand to God. Do I swear to tell the truth? Oh, yes, I do. And boy, oh boy, did she. She blew the lid off of that and off of all of the lies. Nathan Wade and Fani Willis have been dating since 2019. That means that Fani Willis paid her boyfriend, who was supposed to be impartial, who was supposed to be non-biased, to be the special prosecutor for a former United States president. Not only did Fani Willis pick her freaking boy toy, her married boyfriend, but she like literally paid him with funds. I'm over here like, and this dude is a personal injury lawyer. You're going after a former United States president, well, former, soon to be future for president of the United States of America. And you are that low down and dirty, and you think that you're above the law. You could just do that. I'm over here like, I know damn well who Jocelyn Wade is voting for, and it certainly ain't Biden. I would love to see. Oh, I'm glad that happened here and not somewhere else, because I would have cried. I can't get my necklace. I can't get the little thingy in the hole in the ring. I can't get it with these damn claws that I got back on. I don't know what happened to me, you guys. I just was like, you know what? I haven't done like my nails in a long time, and I would really like to get my nails put back on. And so that's what I did for myself. They're pretty cool. They shift from purple to green, if you guys can see. Well, now they just look green, but in other lights, they look purple. They're really neat. So I did that for myself. Now, where was I? Oh, yeah. Back to the personal injury lawyer that's prosecuting a former United States president. Did any like light bulb go off in your head, Fanny? Like, this is not a good idea. This would definitely not be a good idea for me to hire the man I'm sleeping with to sue the president, to go after the president, to try to throw him in prison for 400 years. Well, we got her on tape doing some crazy stuffs, man. Ooh, I got another video for you guys to see. And if you didn't know, you're gonna find out, man. It is a giant mess. So that Miss Yurty came on, okay? Miss Yurty came on and testified, oh, they knew each other since 2019. Did you know that they were in a personal relationship? She's like, yep. And so Fanny was not happy. So Nathan Wade, after Miss Yurty gets off the stand, Nathan Wade's turn. Okay. This dude, man, this dude, this is what he looked like. He had a perma frown on, like, man, why'd I do this? I should have just stayed with my wife. I shouldn't have slept with Fani Willis. You could tell. You could tell he just had a guilty conscience. So he just blew it remarkably, completely. Like Miss Willis is a strong, independent woman, so she would make sure that I didn't have to pay for everything. I'm sure. She once declared that she was broke as a joke, kind of like AOC, but now Fani Willis is worth $8 million. How did that happen? Well, I'm pretty sure the IRS is going to get her ass because he told everybody that Miss Willis, Fanny, paid him in cash. Like, oh, you took her to Belize. You took her to Aruba. You took her to the Bahamas. You went to Napa. You bought lots and lots and lots of cabins in Tennessee. And let me tell you guys, I take my kids to Gatlinburg and like Sevierville and Dollywood and shit like that every year. That ain't cheap. And apparently, Mr. Wade and Miss Fani Willis would travel quite often up to Tennessee to blow some cashola. So, Mr. Wade says that Miss Willis was a strong, independent woman. He didn't say black woman. I was like, say it. But Nathan Wade didn't like play the race card quite like Fani Willis did. And her daddy, the former black supremacist, the Black Panther. Yeah, that's her dad. OG, right? This is like the gossip of the gossip, you guys. I watched the whole damn thing. I was like eating popcorn, like, I can't believe this is happening right now, like right before our very own eyes. You're going after a president and have you ever heard that like saying, like, don't come bitching at my side of the street about it being messy until yours is spotless, your side is spotless? Well. Apparently, man, there's some dirt on Fani Willis. Big time. Huge. And not just her hiring her boyfriend, that was like literally against the law for her to do. But it's a whole lot more stuff, y'all. So, anyways, Nathan Wade is on the stand and he's basically lying through his teeth and saying that Miss Fani Willis, the black independent queen that she is, she had to pay for everything because she ain't no man gonna pay. No man, nope, no man gonna pay my way. Anyways, so these trips that he would put everything, he said, on his business credit cards, right? He put everything on his business credit cards. And so Fani Willis would hand him cash. She has Cash App, and apparently she knows that so does he. But nope, we didn't use Cash App. I only gave him cash. And look, y'all, that might work for some people, but when you're literally a government official, you have to show proof of that. So Nathan Wade gets on the stand and completely blows it, right? He completely blows it because look here, y'all. When you tell the truth, it's so much easier to tell the truth because it just comes out. You're relaxed. You don't have the whole weight of the world on your shoulders. Just lying just don't get you nowhere. So, anyways, Nathan Wade gets done. No shit, you guys. No shit. It was like, what is happening right now? She beelines it to the courtroom, fuming. Like you could see the steam coming out of her nose, like a cartoon, when the steam's coming out their nose and their ears. And she is so pissed. And I can't wait to get up there. So she takes the stand. I'm over here looking at her like, is that dress? What? Crisscross will make you jump. jump, she bringing back crisscross. That shit was backwards, and even if it isn't, it's well, why is your zipper in the front, man? I've been a woman all my damn life. Never once have I put a dress on backwards. Anyways, even if the dress is not backwards, her American flag pin was upside down completely. And I'm over here like, oh, this chick is disheveled as hell. But as soon as she got on the stand, man, she was like, she was tense. She was like, oh shit, I'm on trial. But what came out of her mouth, oh my God, you guys, she was talking to the lawyer, right? For Trump. And she's talking and she goes, you think I'm on trial? I'm not on trial here. I'll never be on trial. I'm like, you literally are sitting in the witness stand right now, Fanny. What are you thinking? So, anyways, we're going on and on and on about when the relationship started. Dates ain't adding up. The lies are compiling. I mean, huge, hefty dumpster fire of lies. And so, when things are done in the dark, they should always come to light. So she's lying and lying and lying and lying. My daddy told me, and then they're talking about like Nathan Wade, right? And they're asking her questions, and she's like, I'm not gonna emasculate a black man. And lawyer's like, wait, what'd you say? I said I'm not gonna emasculate a black man. And I'm over here like, there it is. There it is. Miss Willis and her daddy, so the apple didn't fall far from the tree, played the race card repeatedly. I liked her dad, though. I do. I got to respect him because he's my elder, and I do respect elders. But Fanny, you're my elder too, but literally, you're a scumbag. Anyways, her daddy literally says this to the judge, Your Honor, now I ain't trying to sound racist, but as soon as you as soon as somebody says that, you know they're about to be racist. So then he proceeds to say, well, I'm a black man, so I have cash. I save cash in my house. So I'm black. That's what black people do. And so I'm thinking to myself, well, I got a little bit of cash in my house. Am I black too? Man, shut up. Just shut up. This case it's a joke. It really is. It's a joke, because there's so much shit that we're witnessing, and the lies and the deceit and just the adultery. Like, this is like, there's no big deal. Like, Mr. Wade was married with children. Like, you're sleeping with a married man. But then again, this is Fani Willis we're talking about. You know how Kamala Harris got to the top, right? Working for Willa Brown. Anyways, Fani Willis, same thing. And Governor Kemp is the one that refused to recuse Fani Willis from this case because Kemp is a rhino. He should definitely change from R to a D because he's one of the people that I actually voted to keep in Mayorkas. And I'm over here like, Kemp, man, you ain't a Republican. Just shut up. And if you are, well, you're playing for the other team a lot. So he refuses to recuse Fanny. And it's not Fani, it's Fanny. Shut up, it's Fanny. Back in the day, right? Back in the day, the word Fanny, the name Fanny, I had an Aunt Fanny, two of them, two. I had a big fat Aunt Fanny and I had a little skinny Aunt Fanny. And well, they were cousins, but still we called them Aunt Fannies. But anyways, now it's Fanny because I'm highfalutin. Broke bitch is what she was. She was broke and now she's not. This bitch, you know what she does on the stand? I don't know if it was inadvertently or I don't know if the devil was just coming out of her that day for, kind of payback for her going into church and saying, because I'm black, they're accusing me of having an affair with this man. You did. And it ain't because you're black, Fanny. It's because your character fucking sucks. The end. So anyways, this bitch is on the stand. She admits to taking money from her campaign. I'm over here like, is it fucking real? Is this real? My jaw hit the floor about 92 different times while watching this shit show. I'm over here like, Is this literally allowed to go on? And although I don't agree with Judge Joe Brown because he's like, Judge McAfee did a good job, I'm over here like, that dude works for Fani Willis. He's worked with Fani Willis for 15 years. Trust and believe. He allowed her to do way more than he should have because, first of all, she came in like a bat out of hell. She was like, and you're a liar, you're a liar, you're a liar, liar, pants on fire. And what did she proceed to do the whole time she was on the stand? Lie. I'm over here like, oh my God, this, it doesn't happen in real life. Please, what am I watching here? It was a shit show. It was a complete shit show. So then dad, or Nathan Wade testifies, immediately come in. Oh, I don't talk to Nathan Wade about this. Well, maybe I had a little conversation about, the trial and stuff. Oy vey. My God, the lies, just so many. I can't count that high. The lies that were exposed during this trial was ridiculous. And she just came in there like, you ain't doing this to me. I'm a Democrat and I'm going to do whatever I want to do. And that's how she acted, like a spoiled ass Democrat. And the judge, at first, I was like, woo, yeah, because he was like overruling all of these objections and stuff. So I'm like, yes, we got a base judge. And then I looked him up and I was like, this is not going to be good. I don't know what the outcome is going to be for this whole trial, but I'm hoping and praying like our justice system is not as fucked as we think it is, or we have seen it is, from the recent few years, right? Democrats can do whatever the hell they want. Whatever happened to Jamal Bowman anyways for pulling that fire alarm? Nothing. Rashida Tlaib, anything? No? Nah. Damn. Democrats. They always win for some odd reason. I don't know how. I have a message from today's sponsor really quickly, guys. It's not going to be like, oh my God, we're going to be here for 10 hours. No, this is literally, I have to do this because they paid me. Thank you. Thank you for paying me, guys. I really appreciate you. I really do. I appreciate all of my sponsors. I have 3 today that I'll be telling you about. Zippix toothpicks. These save me from going to jail. Zippix toothpicks. First of all, you got to go in there and you have to say, I am 21 and up. These are actually registered by the FDA. They say these are good replacement for nicotine, like your cigarettes or your vapes or, dipping, which can give you cancer. These are straight up nicotine. They're infused with nicotine. The wood specifically, they don't just dip a toothpick in nicotine. They dip the whole wood in there. You hear that's what he said. They dip the whole wood in there. So you get lots of flavor. But check them out, zippixtoothpicks.com. If you use promo code JustJen at checkout, you will save 10% off of your first orders. They have bundles and stuff like that. I highly recommend it. You guys, please visit zippixtoothpicks.com. And once again, thank you for sponsoring my crazy ass. Like I said, lifesavers. I use these the whole time when I was going through the airports last week, you guys. I was like, man, this is some bullshit. But anyways, zip more, smoke less with Zippix toothpicks. I love this. I love this job. I think it's so much fun. All right. Yes, I am very hyped up today. You know what it is? And that will bring me into my next sponsor. Do you want me to just get these all out of the way right now? Instead of like I'm mid-story and then all of a sudden, no, it's a message from our sponsor. I only have 3, so let's just rip it off like a Band-Aid here. Now, this is what I am currently drinking in my cup. The best part of waking up is blackout coffee in your cup. Yes, I am drinking toasted coconut flavored coffee from Blackout Coffee. And if you put it in your cart, just hit add cart. You go to here, let me blow this up for you guys to see. Blackout Coffee. You put the coffee in the cart, whatever one you want. They have tons of flavors. I'm getting the red velvet, the Vixen red velvet, because that sounds good as shit. And then you hit checkout. You go up here and you put promo code JustJen in the box, It saved you 10%. Like, amazing. So blackoutcoffee.com, use promo code JustJen, and you shall receive a big fat discount. Yay! You can always find all of my links in my link tree, which is listed on my channel, and yada, 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 yada. So thank you, Zippix. Thank you, Blackout. Y'all are amazing. See how quick and painless that was? All right. What else? News. How many people do we have here? Holy shitballs of fire. Hello, everybody. Thank you for joining me. I saved a clip, you guys. Actually, let me post it on Twitter real quick because do you guys know who Salty Cracker is? Motherfucker. Anyways, Salty Cracker, he is a amazing YouTuber, podcaster. He's on Rumble. He's got a shit ton of followers, and rightfully so. He's been doing this a lot longer than I have. I love that man. I love that man. He and Mrs. Salty are amazing people. Now, I'm on Salty's podcast the other night. We're talking about Fani Willis and Nathan Wade. It was actually that night of the trial, right? So he's doing a better job than I am. He's literally on there, and he I hit him with a like a Rumble rant, right? Because I was on Rumble. I want to hear the good stuff, right? I want to hear Salty Cracker unedited. And boy, oh boy, does he curse like me. So I'm like, man, we're like spirit animals. Anyways, so I hit him with a super chat. I'm gonna send it right now. Salty Cracker. This was epic. So I had him laughing his ass off. I just sent it right now. So I clipped it from his show. We're talking about Fani Willis, and I hit him with a Rumble rant, which is like a YouTube super chat. So it's like when you're on Rumble and you're not demonetized for telling the truth and not being a leftist. Yeah, Rumble allows you to do those Rumble rants. So I send him a couple, every time I join his stream, just to hear him say what I type. And it's funny. It really is. I like to pay people to say funny stuff. And boy, oh boy, man, he lost his shit. He laughed so hard. And I'm going to play it for you because I just posted it on my Twitter page. Well, not Twitter, X. I find it remarkably difficult to say X now. It's like Twitter, man. Twitter. But X is better. Well, what happened? Did it post or not? Sometimes they don't post my shit. Where is it? Biden wins. You get out of here, man. You jerk offs. You jerk offs. Where is it? Where is it? Oh, did I not post it? Yes, I did. I posted it. Where is it? I'm live on X too. Well, what the frick is going on? Where is it? Why I'm gonna try to post it again. Well, damn nabbit. Where is it? It's only 30 something seconds long. I wanted to post it here on Twitter or X. Well, see, I do it again because I could show you guys then. I didn't pull up my phone. How unprofessional is that? So make sure you guys are subscribed to Salty Cracker because if you want to hear some funny shit, that dude's hilarious. He makes my day. Let me try this again. I'm just going to tag it like LOL. Here, let's see. Sending post, uploading. It's like taking forever to upload. I don't know why. We had such a great time that stream too. He just says the funniest shit. But he's sick and tired of everything going on in the world. Like, aren't we all? There we are. My post has finally made it. About fucking time. My God. All right. I got it. I got it. And then I'll share some brilliant news with you guys. You ready? Here it is. All right. So I screen recorded it and then I clipped it. Okay. I clipped it. And this is what I wrote. I'm stupid.
Fat Fanny has it's that roast beef, boys. Not even once, right? Not even once, right? She got that. Oh, I am definitely. I'm just Jen. Thank you. So I'm still in that. I'm gonna be hitting a bunch of ugly chicks on Twitter with that tonight. Fucking lied. You look like you got that Arby's crotch. We still in it, Jen. We still in it.
Steal
right?
it away,
We're gonna
my
Democrat
friend.
the shit out of your stuff. Fanny has.
I just love that man. I love him with everything.
It's that roast beef, boys. Not even once, right? Not even.
His laugh is so infectious. And now you see why I'm subscribed to him, right? Because he's funny as shit. And it's funny because if you send him a Rumble or a super, well, I don't know if he could get super chats. He might be demonetized on YouTube too. I don't remember if he is or not. Anyways, the shit was hilarious. You know, I say this because Fani Willis, man, this ain't her first rodeo with a scandal, right? I don't know how she made it as district attorney in the first place. Because, like, back in the day when she was a prosecutor, right? And Brian Kemp, you knew all this, which is crazy to me. Crazy. Fani Willis was prosecuting like a gang, right? A gang. Here, she was sleeping with the gang owner, like the leader of the gang. She's prosecuting a gangbanger, but she's banging him. Like, wait, what? She's having an affair with the guy she's prosecuting. And how wasn't she disbarred back then is how corrupt Atlanta is. There's that. She also was caught having a trap house. You know what a trap house is? A trap house is like an abandoned building and or like low income housing that they use specifically to store their guns and drugs in, right? That's what a trap house is. It's in the trap, the bees in the trap. Yeah. So that's Fani Willis. Crazy, huh? She doesn't go without scandal. Fani Willis deserves to be out of there. In other news, truckers are heading to NYC. Don't leave your truck unlocked because there's all sorts of shit going on. Theft right now is number 1 in San Francisco and New York City. And who is doing it? The migrants, of course, the migrants, the Venezuelan gangbangers that are stealing everything that's not nailed down. There are these syndicates going around in San Francisco that are gang affiliated, and they're sending all that money back to Venezuela. Venezuela's economy is booming all of a sudden. That's why. Now, there was also a shooting, which is very sad. And this was in Burnsville, Minnesota. And this case is kind of rough, y'all. This case is rough because here's the guy on the left who was the shooter. Okay. And here are the 3 men who died. 2 police officers and an EMT were killed going to a domestic disturbance call. And those are by far one of the most dangerous phone calls or dangerous things that a cop could go to is a domestic situation. It often leads to crazy shit like this, but the news is refusing to say who died. And they want to say is, 2 police officers and an EMT are dead, but they're not showing you because these guys were white. And here's your assailant. His name is Shannon Cortez Gooden, 38 years old, from Burnsville, Minnesota. Now, Libs of TikTok brought this up. Now, he killed 2 officers and a paramedic, and he previously supported and defended Barack Obama. There goes that media narrative of these Trump supporters going crazy, killing people left and right. It's always the leftists these days. Anyways, here's what he posted on. Let's blow this up for you guys to see here. I'm so sick of people posting shit about Barack Obama. Just negative shit, negative shit, negative shit. How well would you control the United States? Most of the critics are stay-at-home moms. Let's just say, hypothetically, your husband leaves your dumbass and you've never worked a day in your life. You've been living off your husband and he decides to leave you with nothing, and then you got no choice but to go on welfare or food stamps. In that case, you would be thankful to the government, which is really sad because literally 11 people think just like this guy, which more people think just like this guy. First of all, Barack Obama was a shit show. I voted for him 2 different times. I hate admitting that, but I will admit it. And I think, like, I'm sick and tired of the media's narrative of all of these Trump supporters, these responsible gun owners. This guy was not a responsible gun owner. Actually, Shannon here lost his gun rights, okay, because he was involved in some sort of felonious assault or something. I don't want to quote it or anything because Libs of TikTok just found out that he, right here, he was trying to get his gun rights taken back in 2020, right after they were taken away. Well, after they were taken away from a 2008 felonious assault conviction. His petition was denied. It is likely that he had a firearm illegally. I'm absolutely shocked that criminals can get a hold of guns even when they're not allowed to have one. This is gun control at its finest. Look who it does not prevent from having guns. Okay, so here's this guy's petition right here. Mr. Gooden has clearly been rehabilitated. Oh yeah, some years later, 2 years later, in fact. I'm sorry, 4. For God bless America. I'm really getting old. This was filed in 2020, you guys. 2020, he says he's rehabilitated. 4 short years later, he killed 2 cops and a paramedic. So yeah, real rehabilitated bullshit. So the court said, nah, not today, homie. We will not legally give you your gun rights back. And you know what he did? He put a middle finger up to our laws and said, oh, well, I'm going to go ahead and get my guns anyways. And I'm going to go kill 2 cops and a paramedic. When we have shit on C-SPAN, my friend Adam Francisco just shared this on his X account. And what's really sad is we have people like this on C-SPAN, of all places, allowed to say this shit. Where is it at here? I know Adam just shared it. It's really disheartening, to say the very least. Oh, here's that Brooklyn Dad Defiant guy. He's a paid shell for the Democrat Party. They literally pay him for posting liberal Democrat propaganda. Here. This is one of his tweets. This was posted June 23rd, 2017. Just sold my kid's PlayStation so I could get some crack. Wow. Real cute, man. Real cute. Anyways, Adam Francisco just posted this. I posted it, but I can't find it now. My poor friend there, man. He's on dialysis and shit, man. I feel so bad for him. Where did you post it? I got it. So this leads me to believe that there's a master plan going on. All of the anti-white rhetoric, it's fueling racial tensions, and it's fueling our racial divide here in America. Close your eyes for a second. Imagine the video I'm about to play. Imagine if this was a white man saying the things that he's about to say. And whenever you hear the word white, replace it with black. And just tell me what would happen. What do you think would happen? Not only would that person, like Scott Adams, be canceled, he would be probably doxxed. My guess is assaulted anywhere he went. his life would be ruined. But people like this are allowed to go on C-SPAN and say something as absolutely disgusting as this.
And the one idea is
Here.
how we are going to exterminate white people, because that, in my estimation, is the only conclusion I have come to. We have to exterminate white people off of the face of the planet to solve this problem. Now, I don't care whether you clap or not, but I'm saying to you that we need to solve this problem because they are going to kill us.
Well, who's killing you? And who's killing who? Who's killing who? Why don't you stop blaming white people when you know damn well it's black on black? Always has been. Oh, but there's no such thing as black on black crime. Are you serious? Do I have to pull up the mass shootings that happen every day in Chicago? Or how about Baltimore? Or how about every major city across America? This is allowed to go on. Are you kidding me? And people clapped. Let's rewind this. I want you guys to hear this. Oh, I don't care if you guys clap because we have to exterminate white people. Watch this.
We have to exterminate white people off of the face of the planet to solve this problem. Now, I don't care whether you clap or not, but I'm saying to you that we need to solve this problem because they are going to kill us. And I will leave on that. So we have to just set up our own system and stop playing and get very serious and not be diverted. And the one.
Okay. So, judging by what Mr. Kamau Kambon here says, simply because I look like I do, that makes me a murderous, just absolute killer. And I'm going to go kill black people simply because I'm white. Damn. You better clutch your pearls, Mr. Cabon. I'm coming for you. Jesus Christ. I can't, Obama was one of the worst people, worst political leaders in our lifetime that fueled this shit. Marxist, racist, absolute tyrant, right? I literally can't even imagine what would happen if this man was white and he was on the stage saying, we have to exterminate all black people. I'm pretty sure this man is not dealing with a full deck here, because I've lived in Cleveland most of my life. Okay. I lived in Cleveland, Ohio, most of my life. You don't ever see any white people going on rampages, killing a bunch of black people. Sorry, just doesn't happen. When I'm watching my local news, when I used to, I don't watch it anymore because it's the same old fucking thing every fucking day, like clockwork. Black young teen walking to his friend's house, gone, killed. 14-year-old shot dead walking to school. 12-year-old gunned down. 3-year-old playing in the street gets mowed down by a car and sprayed with a bunch of bullets. You get what I mean? It ain't white people pulling the trigger. It's unfortunate that if you have a platform that you would spew out such nasty, vile hatred when you should be educating youth. Get away from the gangs. If you have to, get a job at McDonald's and save up to get out of here. Number one, you should be educating them to focus on their education, right? You focus on your education so that you could maybe go into a trade school. Welding is amazing, right? You don't want to go through this whole scholarship process. Affirmative action is gone because it's one of the most racist tools that were ever used. If I was him, I would be educating our youth, not trying to say white man bad. Oh my God, white devil this, white devil that, because it's your own people killing one another. So stop, like literally. And if like it was the same in like the suburbs and the white community, I would be saying the same thing. Like, what are you doing? Like, get your shit together. But it's not. And I have there's black friends that I have in my community, right? That have came from the hood. You know what they don't do? They don't say, "Oh, I'm afraid white people are going to kill me." They moved here because it's safer. It's safer. We have better schooling. And that's the unfortunate truth, is that the Democrats that run these major cities that are inner cities, right, that are predominantly black, they steal the money and put it elsewhere, and then they enrich themselves instead of focusing on making the schools a better place for these black kids. That's the damn truth. Or better yet, we have Democrat mayors like Brandon Johnson of Chicago kicking kids, black kids only, out of schools so to make room for the migrants. Fuck out of here, man. I hope Black America fully wakes up one day and goes, you know what? The Democrats have been lying to me for the last 50 fucking years. They've been decimating the black communities for the last 50 fucking years. Well, maybe, just maybe, it's about time we start voting for America First Republicans so that we can actually thrive. Like with President Trump, the black unemployment rate was the lowest it's ever been. The black home ownership rate was the highest it's ever been under Trump. And a lot of black Americans are waking up to that. But we have black America right now in cities like Baltimore and Chicago. They're voicing their opinions, and they're not too happy with the mayors, right? You're not doing nothing. But we actually have people saying that they're about to riot because they're so pissed. People in Chicago, especially the south side of Chicago, where, Michelle Obama was from, but she constantly ran out of to go to the white schools, right? She went all to the uppity schools, but she's for Black America. I'm just over here going, I'll never forget, never, Michelle, Big Mike, whatever you are. All right. Speaking of gun rights, you guys, speaking of gun rights, a few years ago, well, more like 2013, I got into some trouble, right? I did. And I was in trouble for quite some time because in 2006, I got heavily addicted to drugs. Okay. Heavily bad. Right. I never stole my kid's PlayStation, though. I can really say that. But I did do some really grimy shit back in the day. I really have. I'm not perfect by any stretch of the imagination, nor do I ever claim to be. So when you're involved in that kind of lifestyle, unfortunately for you, you're going to get wrapped up in the justice system. You're going to get arrested because when the rooms of Alcoholics Anonymous or Narcotics Anonymous, when they tell you that there are 3 things that you could look forward to if you are an alcoholic and or an addict: jails, institutions, and death. Now, I've been in institutions, I've been in jail, and I wasn't particularly proud of that. Especially that I celebrated 9 years of sobriety on November 1st, just this past November, right? So I got caught up in the justice system and I got felonies, right, for possession. Now, I don't know if you guys know this or not, but I did 3 years in prison for drug possession. What did I do? Back when the FBI was kind of doing their job, they put a wiretap on a drug dealer that I had dated off and on for about 8 years. He had gotten out of prison for selling drugs and he went right back to selling drugs, right? That quick, fast, easy money. Sometimes it's just too tempting for people in the Black community because it's quick, fast, easy money. Do you want to go slaving away at 40 hours a week just to bring home $200? No, probably not. So that's all he basically knew. The FBI tapped his phone. I called him a few times and ordered some heroin. Okay. They had a GPS monitor on his car, little locator. He came and dropped me off the drugs and whatever. And then one day I got a knock on my door. Well, I was actually sleeping at my parents that night. They found me over here. Because my neighbors at my condo told me, what did you do? It was after I got out of jail. They came here to my parents' house with 6 different agencies. I'm talking DEA, FBI, the marshals, and 3 different city cops and 2 different sheriff's departments from 2 counties. They came here with M16s and everything and had an arrest warrant for me. And inevitably, I was given a felony. I pled guilty and violated probation and went to prison. But that's what got me sober, right? That's what got me sober. I stayed in two years in prison. I did until I was actually able to get drug treatment. It was crazy. I was there for a drug crime. And you would think when you land in prison, right? You land yourself in prison for drugs, right? Unfortunately, it's real. I got possession even without having any drugs. It was just the phone calls and the GPS monitoring that literally got me hemmed up. So anyways, I had a past too. So I had past felonies for the same thing. So imagine me walking into court going, that wasn't me. Do you think they're going to believe me? Of course not. So my paid attorney said, don't just plead guilty, man. Just get it over. We'll get your probation today. Don't fuck it up. I did. So for the longest time, I had felonies attached to my name. Right. And over the last couple of years, I've been fighting to seal my record because, guys, I got out of prison in 2017. Okay. I haven't even had a fucking speeding ticket. Nothing. Not a seatbelt ticket. Nada. Okay. Proudly kept my life straight since then. Right. So even though I did drug treatment in prison 2 years after I got in there, because you would think, oh, you go to prison for a drug crime, you should be able to get drug treatment right away. That is not the case. That is not the case. They go by your out date, how quickly your out date is coming. That means your release date. And if people are coming in after you and that are leaving before you, they're going to get bumped up on that list. And you're going to keep getting bumped down on that list. And that's what happened to me. Finally, I got sick of it and I stalked the guy on the yard. And I was like, look, dude, I need this program because I'm going to be getting out in like a year. So I want to have the tools necessary to keep sober. Right. So I finally got into that program and I completed that. It was like a 6-month program and I did really well in there. It was pretty cool, man. I'm not going to lie. I met some really solid people. Some of them I'd still talk to this day, right? Anyways, these felonies were attached to my name, right? And you have to go through the motions, literally, and file motion after motion after motion, go through court after court after court to get your record sealed. Now, there's 3 things that they really want to make sure that you're doing. Unlike this fool who wanted to petition for his gun rights back, he did not act right. He was getting into trouble. He had a violent crime. You're not going to be able to expunge that or get your gun rights back if you have a violent crime on your record. It's not going to happen. As much as I want to go out and buy a gun right now, I can't until my Second Amendment rights are reestablished. And I'm going to wait to do that because I'm not going to risk it at all. So I got a couple of my cases sealed, right? And the third thing that this judge wanted was them fines paid off. They want you to make sure you're rehabilitated, that you haven't committed any other crimes. Check, done. They want to make sure that your fines or restitution is paid off. Check. And they want to make sure your motion is proper and that you are eligible, that your crime fits that criteria of being eligible for expungement. Check, check, check. Saturday, I was watching something. What was I watching? Oh God, I forget. But he's like, what's next on the docket, right? And I forget what I was watching. Probably has something to do with Trump or some YouTuber. I don't know. But it led me to go and like, I'm going to check my docket, because it's been months and months and months since my attorney had filed for the record sealing. I look up my name, nothing. I'm going, after all these years, I know my case number by heart. Okay. I plug in my case number and I purposefully leave the letter out because I had so many co-defendants. They're all there. Who's missing? Me. And I'm going, no shit. Completely sealed, completely done. No more felon. And that's amazing because literally the First Step Act was signed into law by President Trump. And the First Step Act is justice reform. It's for people like me who have changed their life completely around and want to make sure that their past does not get to define them for the rest of their lives. And so by Mr. Trump, our president, signing the First Step Act, I was able to do just that. So if you're like me, and if you have a felony on your record and that has been bugging you for 10, 15 years, and you've changed your life completely around, you deserve a second chance in life. You do. And look, there's clinics out there for expungement. So if you want to expunge your record, if you have a nonviolent like drug offense like I did, do it. It's very minimal costs. You could even do it yourself, but I wouldn't recommend it. I would let there's a program in Cleveland called Legal Works. That's who did my first case. And here we are today, felony free. But again, you have to go through the proper channels to restore your gun rights. You can't just automatically, oh, my shit's expunged, I'm going to get a gun, because you're not going to pass the FBI background check, the BCI background check. You have to make sure that you get your gun rights restored legally. And I'm in the process of doing that. So I'm so excited. But that's my big news that I had to share with you guys. And if I can do it, anybody can. Yeah, this one did cost me a little bit of money, but that's okay. It's worth it. Trust me. I still am in shock about this. I'm still not I haven't came to terms with it yet. This has been hindering my abilities to do the things that I want to do for a very long time. Not only does a felony hinder you by getting the career choice you want, but you can't even be a PTA member. You can't be a PTA member. You can't travel to some countries. It's just something that it shouldn't be on your record forever, right? Now, if you're a sex offender, guess what? You're fucked. You don't get that taken off. Sorry, not sorry. I know some people have oh, I was a sex offender back then, but now I'm not. It's depending on what that crime is. If you touch a child, no, dude, you don't get to sorry, not sorry. You don't get to say anything. You're a sex offender, period. Those types of people don't they do not rehabilitate in my eyes. So, all right, I have videos for you guys here. So holy shit, there's a lot of y'all here. Hi, hello. I hope you're well. So, do you guys know who Doug in Exile is? He's an amazing YouTuber. He has a video up that I want to react to really quickly, right? This is, you won't believe what this lawyer said. Now, this is the one I wanted. I have a video after. I'm going to do 2 videos on here, and then I have a fucking bombshell for you guys that you're going to shit yourselves with, okay? Shit yourselves. Get your diapers ready. Get your diapers ready. All right, so Doug in Exile has this video out here, and I want to show you guys this. He's got 367 subscribers. And I would like for you guys to go subscribe to him, subscribbles. Here's his channel right here. Doug in Exile, EXILE. Please do me the honors and go subscribe to him because he's awesome. All right, listen to this.
Fani Willis did not take the stand today, but her dad did. We've got him on here. We will be as respectful as we can to the old man.
The Black
Welcome
Panther.
to Doug in Exile. This is where all the happy patriots are. Glad you guys are watching. I appreciate you as an audience. I don't deserve any of this, guys. I don't deserve your attention.
Yes,
I'm
you
just
do.
a barely literate comic book artist trying to bring you the news in an entertaining way. However, I do think we accidentally caught the National Bar Association in witness intimidation. Accidents happen. Let's get right to it. This was based on yesterday's testimony. This is going to explode even more today. Okay, so first, this is a tweet from attorney Carlos Moore sent by one of my one of my people out there, and I appreciate that. But this is Attorney Carlos Moore, National Bar Association, past president, municipal judge pro tem. He says, I stand with Fani Willis.
I bet you
She
do.
was elected by the people of Fulton County to do a job. Let her do it. Black people in powerful positions, obviously not me. I'm neither a black person nor am I in a powerful position, should not be subjected to a double standard or extra scrutiny to continue in positions. I think he's implying that Fani Willis is getting some
Hi,
extra
Alex.
scrutiny.
Hello.
The focus should be on who, if anyone, tried to steal the 2020 election. Okay. He probably thinks he's talking about Trump. I'm thinking we're talking about Biden, but let's find out. Let's let the courts find out. This other stuff is a sideshow and a circus that has no parallel.
All right, let me stop Doug real quickly and let's break down what Attorney Carlos Moore just said. Stop looking over here and put your focus back on the man who stole the 2020 election. Yeah. The focus is on the person who stole the 2020 election. It should be, and it wasn't Trump. Hey, it's smoke and mirrors here. Please don't look at Fani Willis for what she has done. It's none of your business. What? That she slept with a married man with children. She broke up a marriage. She paid her boyfriend to be a special prosecutor with federal funding, and the two jet set it around the fucking world with federal money. How about this, Mr. Moore? Eat one. How about this? My president says, don't focus on this as a circus. You're damn right it's a circus. And she is the what is that? The ringleader. She's the ringleader. And she slept with gang members who she prosecuted. She is a hoe. Period. Fani Willis is a hoe. What you gonna do? What you gonna do?
He says, hashtag Fani Willis.
Is a hoe.
Hashtag,
Is a hoe. Hashtag
not
Fanny is a
on,
hoe.
not on trial. Fani Willis is not on trial.
Yes.
Hashtag Black Women Matter. First, remember this clip real quick yesterday, because this is going to play in today again. I'm just going to replay this for you.
Refer to what I was told by the bar, that Rule 1.6 of confidentiality applies, and that I would be asking for an immediate review of the Supreme Court.
Sure, but applies to what?
Any communications is what the person at the bar told us.
Any communications? So like
He did not
if you
qualify.
talk to Mr. Wade, that's covered.
Well, Judge, I don't know. He didn't go into those specifics, but this is what was told. I was sitting there with my attorneys.
This is Terrence Bradley, who looks terrified, like he's about to poop a brick. Poor guy. And he's on the stand saying he can't testify. He's been ordered by the bar, just warning him, don't testify about Nathan Wade. Now, Nathan Wade is his old friend who hired him as a lawyer. And under the law, as a lawyer, he gets attorney-client privilege. But supposedly he was supposed to testify about, before he got that attorney-client privilege, that he knew that Nathan Wade was involved with Fani Willis before the dates they said they got together. There. That's the backstory. We're going to get into the definition of witness tampering later, because he could be guilty of it. I just want to know who talked to him. Was it this attorney Carlos Moore, National Bar Association past president, the ex-president? Or doesn't that not prove that this guy who's coming out on Fani Willis's side, that the entire bar association could be compromised?
Yes.
Why wouldn't it be overrun with Democrats when Democrats have so many of our judge seats, so many of our district attorneys, so many of our prosecutors, all the way up to Jack Smith, Merrick Garland? What institution hasn't been compromised by Democrats? How about 92% of them in our law schools, our universities, our media centers, the media, journalists, 92%. Here's Fani Willis's dad saying he knew about COVID before the rest of us because he moved to avoid COVID in another country.
Hold on a minute. Now, we all know that the Rona hit in 2020. However, Mr. Willis here, he's a black supremacist, but he's also like Nostradamus. He's a prophet. He knew of COVID a whole year before we did. Ain't that something? Wow. Hey, so did the CDC. Literally 6 months before COVID came out, they did some sort of test. It was kind of like what would happen if the world had this giant pandemic. Oh, masks, all kinds of shit, forced vaccines, forced mandates. It was kind of like, what is that called? They set it up to look like, hey, we're just doing this just to test out the theory of what if. And it actually happened 6 months after they put this shit out. And who funded all of that? The World Health Organization, aka with the UN and the WEF, the World Economic Forum. A lot of this shit has to do with the World Economic Forum, with all of the Democrats being in power, because who funds them? Soros. Soros funds a shit ton of these Democrats who have gone rogue, like Letitia James, the Attorney General for New York, like Alvin Bragg, the District of Attorney for Manhattan, who's going after Trump. They hate Trump more than anything. Because why? Because he's already a billionaire and he can't be bought. That's why. All right. Now, this is Mr. Willis. Now, again, he's my elder, and I'm not going to talk a lot of shit on him, but it was quite entertaining, to say the very least, to watch his testimony.
Stuck. I was just stuck there.
I may be wrong, but I believe COVID hit in 2020. So I was asking about 2019. In 2019, did you spend any time in California?
Before COVID was even here in the United States, remember I lived in South Africa and I've traveled the world. I knew COVID was coming before. I knew COVID was around before. They may have announced it in 20, but in fact, I knew about it and I knew what was happening in 19.
Okay, so let's walk through 2019 then. You said you moved here in September. So
no, I didn't say that. I moved here probably prior to September.
Okay, so he says he knew about COVID back in 2019. I wish he told the rest of us. Personally, I don't believe him. I also don't have a problem. You know, this is a dad covering for his daughter on the stand. I get it, guy. I get it. You know, I don't need to go into it any farther than that. I don't want to drag the guy too far down. Here's Marjorie Taylor Greene on Fanny. This is exactly why I filed my ethics complaint against Fani Willis and Nathan Wade. Why Fani Willis admits she has no proof that she reimbursed Nathan Wade for their lavish vacations, but paid rent via an app. She must be criminally investigated. We're going to go over her testimony again real quick here, where she says that she pays stuff by this app.
These are the 9-inch
you gotta love
Guggenheim
those.
Professional Tailor Shears.
Those look nice.
would you say you paid cash versus cash out?
Oh, the vast majority was cash out. I don't know what percentage, I'm not gonna guess that, but the vast majority was cash out. But there would be times she would say, you know, this bill came in.
Did you ever pay him anything other than cash?
I've only given him cash a few times in the course of what we're talking about.
So you've
If
never
we
used
would go to dinner,
Let her finish her answer.
if we would go to dinner, I wouldn't give him cash because he paid for dinner or I paid for dinner. I've given him cash only a few times in life, probably 4. Probably the most money I've ever handed him is $2,500. The least amount of money I've handed him, probably between $500 and $1,000.
You never wrote him a check?
Ma'am, I don't have checks.
Here's Mays on Twitter, June 2020. Listen to what Fani Willis accuses the sitting district attorney.
Hold on a minute, man. Did you see that, you guys? Did you see Fani Willis? I don't have checks. Watch this. That's funny. That's freaking hilarious. Watch her.
Here's Mays on Twitter.
Sorry.
$1,000.
You never wrote him a check?
Ma'am, I don't have checks.
Here's Mays on Twitter, June 2020. Listen to what Fani Willis accuses the sitting district attorney of doing. But Fanny, what if he claims he paid with untraceable stacks of cash that he randomly keeps in the house. Listen to Fani Willis, what she says should be done to him, the previous guy.
You say, Miss Willis, Judge Willis, what law did he violate?
Judge.
A few, but let's try this on for size. OCGA 45-11-5, extortion, subsection A. As used in this code section, the term extortion means an unlawful taking by a public law officer under color of his office from any person of any money or thing of value that is not due to him or more that is due to him. Any public officer shall be by himself, his deputy, or his agent, or other in person employed by him be guilty of extortion in receiving other and greater fees than by law are allowed him, shall be guilty of a misdemeanor, and repeat this part for me, and shall be dismissed from office. Not maybe, shall be dismissed from office.
Okay, she wants.
Well, how come you get to stay then, Fanny? How come you get to stay? See, I noticed the Democrats doing this a lot. They accuse people of doing what they're doing, right? Just like Fani Willis came on and did this sit-down interview and was talking about the prior DA and why she's a better fit, right? We shouldn't be sleeping with everybody that's in our offices. No fraternization. You know, she was talking about the district attorney, the former district attorney. Now he's an extortionist. Then he's allowing all kinds of tomfoolery going on in the office, like everybody's sleeping with one another, right? Having too much interpersonal communication, if you know what I mean. But wait, Nathan Wade is not an employee. He's an agent. That's the difference. She is the pot and she calls the kettle black. She does exactly, if not worse, than the former DA. And I'm telling you guys, if we don't get rid of the Soros-funded district attorneys, judges, prosecutors, attorney generals, politicians, we're in big trouble, because that man is an agent of chaos and anarchy, and he's a Marxist, and he's just evil, evil, evil. And this is, I think Fani Willis got bit by the corruption bug, because you don't go from being broke, okay, broke, and now you're worth $8 million. Her net worth is $8 million. That chick is compromised. And if we want to move on as a country, if we want the division gone, if we want America to be great again and be the America that we know and we love, we got to get rid of the corruption. And the corruption, look no further than Fani Willis. My God, man, her father, man, I feel bad. I really do. I feel bad for this man, because I love old people. I don't know why. I just do. I love old people, even if they don't love me simply because I'm white. I love you anyways, and I'll pray for you. That's all we can really do. And speaking of praying, Miss Fani Willis going into a church of all places and blaming the fact that racists are calling her out because of her affair with America. You are in a house of God, and you're griping on pulling the race card about having an affair, committing adultery. It's literally in the 10 Commandments, Fanny. What are you doing? Like, I'm over here like this is the devil. This is the devil doing the devil's work.
Wants us to repeat it to her, that you not maybe, but shall be dismissed from office.
Yeah,
here's
I
Trump
heard her.
playing the
reverse
flip
Uno
card,
reverse
on,
Uno,
the turn card on Uno on Fani Willis. Here's a little more Fani Willis's testimony, and you'll notice this went around yesterday that she put her dress on backwards, apparently.
Whole life, when I took out a large amount of money on my first campaign, I kept some of the cash of that. Like, to tell you, I just have cash in my house. I don't have as much today.
Okay, just in case you missed it, she took money out of her campaign and cashed it out and kept that. That money, and you'll notice
more time.
This went around yesterday that she put her dress on backwards, apparently.
Whole life, when I took out a large amount of money on my first campaign, I kept some of the cash of that. Like, to tell you, I just have cash in my house. I don't have as much today.
Okay, just in case you missed it, she took money out of her campaign and cashed it out and kept that. That is a campaign finance violation that she just now admitted on tape. Here's the dress. Look, It's got a zipper
God, that's
going
ugly.
down the back of it. There you go.
That is the fuggliest color I have ever seen. I'm sorry. It looks like freaking bubble gum. Gross. Why was you in such a hurry to get your dress back on? Were you watching your lover on the stand? Did it turn you on, Miss Willis? You Jezebel.
And Fani Willis, here's the oath. Look at the zipper. There it is.
She's a
on the front.
Jezebel. Look at her flag
There's the
pin.
dress. I'm not an expert on these things. I think maybe she's kind of ingenious for wearing a dress backwards. Maybe she'll start a trend.
Please,
Most
God,
people have
don't.
no clue that in 2023, the best way to make money on Amazon is not with physical products.
Oh, now
My next
she
question
fixed
is based
pin.
on her opening the door, and therefore I'll just ask it, and Your Honor can decide whether or not it's appropriate. When you went to D.C., did you go to the White House?
I did not go to the White House.
You didn't. Yes, you did. You're on the White House visiting logs, and so is Letitia James, and so is your boyfriend, Nathan Wade. Huh? Who did you meet with? Was it Kamala Harris? Yes, it was. So here she is lying again. Did you go to the White House? Objection, Your Honor. Overruled.
Start a trend.
My
Liar.
next question is based on her opening the door, and therefore I'll just ask it, and Your Honor can decide whether or not it's appropriate. When you went to D.C., did you go to the White House?
I did not go to the White House.
Okay, forget the dress. She just now lied and said she didn't go to the White House. This is serious. Okay, don't mess with the dresses on backwards. This girl said she did not go to the White House when they asked her under oath.
Pull up the
Here's
logs.
Rep. Simon Smith, White House visitor logs confirmed that Fulton County District Attorney Fani Willis and her head prosecutor had multiple hour-long meetings with the president. Months later, she
Ooh,
announces
with
indictments
Biden.
against the president's chief political opponent. But Doug, where's the receipts? Here's the White House log, whitehouse.gov, right up at the top. Fani Willis. Fani.
You see that? You can go to whitehouse.gov, you guys. Here, I'm going to blow it up for you so you guys can see. Go up to whitehouse.gov or Google White House visiting logs. You will see Fani Willis up there. Stephen Willis. I wonder if that's her father. I think it is. I think that's her father. He's in the process of making a movie too, by the way. It's about Black folks hating white people, obviously. And also Letitia James is on there, and so is Nathan Wade. They're all on there coincidentally before the indictments against Trump came. So I just can't wait for the appellate process. I can't wait for the Supreme Court to laugh this out and turn it all around and get that reverse Uno card flipped out to every one of these rats.
Willis, guest of. This is the vice president on the visitee list.
Rob.
This has a date. She lied. Here's MSNBC even admitting that Fani Willis needs to throw in the towel.
Yeah, this has been a bombshell, and it was a sort of a slow burn. But if you parse the language, huge issues
bad.
here. And I want to be really clear: this is not about a relationship between two consenting adults. This has nothing to do with that. It's about lying to the court. It's about potential financial gain on the part of Fani Willis, and not even so much. That's a second. That takes the back seat here. The issue is that her credibility is shot. Just as Anthony was saying, if she lied to the court, she submitted something to the court that she knew was false and inaccurate. What else was she lying about? It's a horrible, horrible look for her. I think this case is dead in the water.
Dead in the water. Let's go to Donald Trump on Truth Social. Fani never paid cash. She got free trips and other things from her lover with the exorbitant amounts of money she authorized to be paid to him. A giant scam. A witch hunt. I happen to agree.
Me too.
However, here's Anna Bauer. Looks like we don't hear from Willis after all. This is in today's trial. She's not going to testify. The main guy that we want is Terrence Bradley. We're going to get to him in just a second. On behalf of the DA's office, says that the state has no further questions for Willis. Defense counsel want to call another witness, Nathan Wade's former law partner, Terrence Bradley. But he's at a doctor's appointment. Man, a lot of excuses. We're waiting on him to testify today.
Well, if he's a former partner with Nathan Wade, you can't pull attorney-client privilege like they tried to do before. They brought up another partner of Nathan Wade's earlier on in the trial. I think it was after Nathan Wade, or before, either before or after Nathan Wade had testified, and he tried pulling the whole attorney-client privilege card. Can't do that if you're not attorney client. If you're an attorney partner, you don't have attorney client privilege. They're literally grasping at every straw here, and they're literally praying that they can use every legal loophole here to get out of the heat. Don't go in the kitchen if you don't like the heat. Don't be committing crimes, and don't go after people's political opponents either. It's not a good look, and it's definitely not a good look when Fani Willis just looked right at our faces and said, I did not go to the White House. You are on the logs. You're on the logs. You can't really dispute that. Anybody can do an internet search and see. It's really crazy, you guys. When you add it all up, it doesn't add up. The math ain't mathin'. And it only leads me to suspect one thing and one thing only. This is the only way that they know how to drain Trump of his money and get him off of the ballot. And I just heard that Colorado is shit out of luck because the Supreme Court's like, Trump is staying on the ballot. You can't tell people who they can and cannot vote for. That's against our constitutional rights.
Here's the 2022 Georgia Code, Title 16, Crimes and Offenses, Chapter 10, Offenses Against Public Administration, Article 5, Offenses related to judicial and other proceedings. How about influencing witnesses? This is what I'm saying the state bar could have done. Came in and brought the hammer down on our buddy Terrence Bradley. Universal citation, a person who, with intent to deter a witness from testifying freely, fully, and truthfully to any matter pending in any court, in any administrative proceeding, or before a grand jury, communicates directly or indirectly to such witness, and any threat of injury or damage to the person, property, or employment that would be disbarring him of the witness, or to the person, property, or employment of any relative or associate of the witness, or who offers or delivers any benefit, reward, or consideration to such witness, or to a relative or associate of the witness, shall, upon conviction thereof, be punished by imprisonment for not less than 1 or more than 5 years. So I think our buddy over at the bar, or anyone over at the bar who influenced Terrence Bradley, you need to go to jail for
5 years.
1 to 5 years. Terrence Bradley, if this happened to you, get your emails to someone outside of Fulton County, someone who is not corrupt, someone you trust. Get them out to them. Get this message out to them, my people. This has been Doug in Exile. Hi.
Well, let's hope and pray that Terrence does the right thing. But as you could probably imagine, being in that position, you're probably scared shitless. You know, you're scared. They're dealing with some pretty big names here. You're dealing with the former president of the Bar Association. But you see that, you heard that. That's the law. And what other law comes to mind that if you have this much crack cocaine, you're going to prison for 5 years, and no matter what the judge says, that's it? Oh, yeah. That's the crime bill, the stipulations, where my ass went to prison for 3 years for just a fucking phone call or two. Thanks, Biden. Thanks a lot. I'm glad that President Trump stepped in and signed in the First Step Act so I could get my past and leave it where it belongs, in the past, and I can move forward with my life. But your son gets to smoke all of the crack in the world and have all of the crack in the world and take pictures and videos and have it on the scales and wreck rental cars with a bunch of crack in it. And what happens to him? Not a fucking thing. It doesn't make any damn sense. Fani Willis exposed. Here's her making a complete and total ass out of herself. This is 14 and a half minutes, almost 15 minutes of her testimony. Oh, my God, man, it's so embarrassing, you guys. It really is. If you type in Fanny in this search, all of this comes up. This is not a good look. I, for once, agree with MSNBC. Not a good look, Fanny. I'm just saying, you don't go on the witness stand and demand that you run the show. You're a witness right now at this point. You are not in charge.
So I don't know the last time I enjoyed a court case as much as the Fani Willis court case yesterday. Fani Willis, in case you don't know, she is the woman that is going after Donald Trump in Atlanta, and she's fantastic. I just love this. So apparently she was having an affair with one of her underlings, and I don't know if he was under, well, let's just leave it at that, and having an affair and paying all kinds of money. In fact, a lot more than anybody else on her staff in that role. But he was such an expert. And they found out that, those two were having an affair, and he was cheating on his wife. And looks like there's some ethics problems there. So now she's in court because her credibility is shot. And the Trump people have said she really needs to be removed from this case because she's got, ulterior motives and there's another agenda going on, et cetera, et cetera.
Well, I love Glenn Beck, first of all. He's one hell of a patriot. This is Blaze TV, you guys. So if you're not subscribed to Blaze, please do so. I really want to bring up something really quickly that I heard that was really disturbing to me. I've been cheated on, and it is probably one of the worst things that you could do to somebody is look at them and lie to them and cheat on them. And that it's a disgusting thing to do to somebody. It really is. It's probably one of the most lowest things that you could do to somebody besides like spitting in their face, which that's what I think cheating is. It's a big giant spit in somebody's face, especially if you're married and you take vows in front of God himself, and then you go and you cheat. So what I found really sickening was how Fani Willis would describe her trips with Nathan Wade. The first cruise that they had gone on together, Nathan Wade's mother was there. Now Fani Willis, her father, is like, I had no idea that she was dating Nathan Wade. As much respect as I have for old people, shut the F up. You knew damn well that your daughter was banging this man. And, I find it so sick how nonchalant Fani Willis is, talking about how mad her Nathan Wade's mama was that we went on the cruise and then Nathan and I went to Aruba without her. She was so mad. You're literally sleeping with a married man who has children, and you're boasting and bragging how you took his mother with him. That is a dysfunctional family if I ever seen two dysfunctional families, the Wade family and the Willis family. None of y'all have morals or values, and how dare you, under God, go into church, take vows, and do that. You're sickening. You have zero morality whatsoever. And I pray like hell that karma bites you in the ass, because guess what? Ethics, if they came up and bit you on the ass, you wouldn't know what the fuck was it. What was that? What's ethics? What's morals? What's values? What are vows? What is it? What is a marriage? What is children? There is no sanctity in marriage these days, and it's fucking disgusting. Sorry for that rant. Not sorry.
So, you see it yesterday, Stu?
Oh, yes. I sure did, Glenn.
There.
Yeah,
I watched every second of it I could ingest.
Yeah.
It was incredible.
Yeah, it was good. The first thing that I saw was he gets up on the stand and he's testifying that, he didn't lie to the court during his divorce proceedings. He just got divorced. When was it? Last year? No, this year, right?
Very recent, yeah.
Fun fact, Nathan Wade filed for divorce the very next day after he was paid roughly $700,000 to become special prosecutor. Ain't that something? My only question is, since he filed for divorce the day after he got that money, wouldn't Jocelyn literally be entitled to half of that? I mean, she was married for 26 years to that asshole. I'm pretty safe to say that the 5-year relationship that Nathan Wade and Fani Willis have still, because the whole time that Nathan Wade was testifying, he referred to him and Fanny as we the whole time. And I hope they play some of this, because I noticed that too. I'm like, these motherfuckers are still together, because every time he refers to him and Fanny, he says we. And who does that? People that are in a relationship.
Yeah, very recent. Maybe it was early or late last year. But he got a divorce, and all this came up in the divorce court, that he was having an affair with Fani Willis. Well, he denied that in court. And when asked about it, he said, well, it's because his marriage had
irreconcilable differences.
Yes.
He
couldn't. So his marriage.
No, here's what he said. They didn't cite irreconcilable differences, which is what most celebrities file. Like, meaning we can't settle our differences, so let's just divorce. Instead of working through them and going to marriage counseling like normal people, they say, well, we're just going to give up. So he didn't cite I can't even say the damn word right now, irreconcilable differences. What he stated was, it was a marriageless marriage. It was, we haven't been married for a long time. It was irrefutable. Like, we were just, it wasn't anything. Legally, you were still married. So in the law of the eyes and under God, you're still married. Okay. So yeah, he said, oh, our marriage wasn't working for a very long time. In fact, we took our daughter to college. And after we took our daughter to college and dropped her off to college is when we decided, no, you stepped out on Jocelyn, Nathan, is what you did. You stepped out on her and you had an affair with Fani Willis for all of these years. And then y'all try to brush it under the rug that y'all know each other. You're not even supposed to know each other. I guess what's done in the dark shall come to light. So that's what happened there. He's a liar. And so is she.
Marriage was over. So he considered his marriage over when he was having an affair.
See, I consider my marriage over on Friday nights and Saturday nights. And then it picks back up on Sunday. I like that. You could just kind of, is that a new thing? You could just name when your marriage is over and then it's not cheating? Wow.
Our marriage was over at that point.
Remember when that was I remember Bill Clinton being just like, hey, yeah, when she's under the desk, the marriage is over. And then we flip the switch back on for public appearances.
Never heard that excuse
I like
before.
that. I like it.
Okay, so he did that. And then
close, but no cigar.
And then apparently he was reimbursed for all of the vacations and everything else. Play cut 3, please.
You said in the affidavit that you roughly shared travel, though, correct?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. So this roughly sharing travel, you're saying she reimbursed you.
She did.
And where did you deposit the money she reimbursed you?
Oh, it was cash. She didn't give me any checks.
I think this is
she
so
paid
obvious.
you cash for her share of all these vacations.
Mr. Schaefer, you'll step out if you do that again.
Yeah.
Yes, ma'am.
Someone
Okay.
laughed.
And so all of the vacations that she took, she paid you cash for.
Yes, ma'am.
And you purchased all of these vacations on your business credit card, correct?
Yes, ma'am.
And you included those in deductions on your taxes, correct?
No, ma'am.
I mean, there's so much here. We're deep into it at this point. But just to think about what they're saying here, because if you back up a little bit, the reason why this is an issue and why this was brought up initially by one of the co-defendants of, as well as Donald Trump and Giuliani and all these other guys, this is a smaller defendant that no one really ever talked about. The reason why it was brought up is
Bill, just let it go.
they're
Ignore
having an
it.
affair. He's making hundreds of thousands of dollars from this trial.
700.
Fani, and she likes to call her Fani Willis, is motivated to continue this trial for as long as possible because her boyfriend is getting all this cash. So instead of having a pursuit of justice, you have a pursuit of your own financial benefit because the longer this goes on, the more assignments this guy gets, the more money he gets, and then they go on vacations together, which he's paying for. This is the accusation. And if that's the case, well, maybe the motivation here is not to see where, to get us to justice here for the people of Georgia, but maybe to make sure she gets to Belize and Aruba and Miami and all the other vacations they discussed during this. So that's the reason why this is important, partially. The other part of it is that they said the relationship didn't start till 2022. And if it started before that, they lied to the court. That's a whole nother problem.
There's plenty of problems here. There's plenty of problems.
Their excuse for this that we are supposed to believe, they actually are telling us we should believe this excuse, is that Wade buys expensive vacations to Aruba and a bunch of different places. He puts it on his business credit card. And then they go on the vacations. They spend all this money, Napa Valley, thousands and thousands and thousands of dollars on these vacations.
Oh, yeah. I love that this is reminding me. My recollection is coming back to me. I don't drink wine. I drink Grey Goose. Nathan loves wine. There's caviar and this wine says, I don't like wine. I only like the Grey Goose. She's a vodka drinker. Of course you are. I was hoping she was going to be like, I'm sipping on gin and juice, laid back.
And then she shows up and just hands him $4,000 in cash, which in turn, he never deposits into his bank account. We are supposed to believe now there's no record of any of this happening because, of course, it's all cash. There's not a cash. There's no Venmo. There's no Cash App. There's no checks. Nothing. It's all cash. And then he takes the cash and never deposits any of it into his bank account.
He said he may have given some of it to his children.
Oh, of course.
That's right. His daughter in college.
May have done that.
Now, Glenn, it's important to understand how human beings act. And this series of events has never occurred between any two human beings in American history. There's never been a case ever in history where a man bought something on his business card for $8,000. And then when he showed up for the vacation, his girlfriend paid him back $4,000 in cash, which he never deposited. This has never occurred in the history of human interaction.
Right, because check this out, right? If she's such a strong, independent woman, why didn't she put it on her credit card? She's got credit cards. She's got debit cards. She's got Cash App. But ironically, everything that he said that she paid her back was in cash, so that you cannot trace it whatsoever. You're talking about large sums of money here, not just $100, you guys. We're talking thousands upon thousands of dollars. You know who wants that money? And she said, did you know what she said? Cash is fungible. Bitch, no, it's not. It's taxable. You owe taxes. Oh my God. I really wouldn't be surprised if we saw Fani Willis get audited by the IRS. I mean, 187,000 new IRS agents. Let's see what happens. Fungible. Cash is fungible. That means you can have as much cash as you want to, and Uncle Sam gets none of it. Okay, we're going to see how that works out for you, Fanny.
Well, are you done?
No, I can keep going for hours on this. It was fascinating.
You have no idea. What it means to be a black woman.
Apparently not.
Me neither.
You have no idea what it means to be a black woman.
This was her excuse, by the way, Glenn. This legit. What you're saying here is not a joke.
I'm going to give you.
This is really what she said.
No, it's not a joke. This is not a joke, Stu. I've got it from the Washington Post. She explained the two split the cost, with Willis paying him back in cash. thousands of dollars in cash. At the time, many businesses only accepted electronic payments, and many people never carry cash. Wade made a mess of explaining why Willis was handing over wads of untraceable dollars. He began many sentences with, well, here's the thing. And by the time he reached to the end of the sentence, well, there was no thing there. Now, remember, this is the Washington Post, okay? But then, Wade sat in the witness chair, his gray plaid three-piece suit with his white French cuff shirt, gold cufflinks, and powder blue pocket square. He grimaced and smiled and repeatedly referenced his wife's affair as the cause of his filing for divorce in 2021, even though no one had asked him why he split with his wife, but rather when he started his relationship with Willis. But the two have said their romance began to become after he became a special prosecutor afterwards. He had a hard time with the timeline of his relationship. He drank lots of water, dabbed his face, and sniffed even more vigorously. Then they talk about how they started, giving all of the money. Willis lectured the gathered attorneys on the philosophy behind keeping cash on hand. Her father taught her that cash was king, and a woman should always be financially self-reliant. And so, yes, she had stashes of cash that she had accumulated over time, and she used it to reimburse Wade. She dipped into it before a trip so she could pay taxi drivers or barter with vendors. Her description of her father's advice was a compressed version of a very complicated history and modern-day habit. She didn't go into the discomfort that some Black people have with financial institutions, or the way in which banks have made it more difficult for Black people to do business with them. She didn't mention that more older people believe in keeping ready cash, that a significant percentage of Black and Hispanic Americans use cash for their predominant payment method. She didn't have to. She simply talked about what her father had told her to do as a matter of independence and power.
It's crazy because, I'm looking at my family lineage now going, are we Black too? Do I have sub-Saharan African roots? Because my grandma kept cash in a shoebox in her closet. So does that mean we're Black? Oh, well, if we are, we are. It don't bother me none. But how dare you use your race? It's disgusting. How dare you use your race? It's almost as if, the heat's getting a little bit too hot in here. Let me play the race card really quickly. Make you look like a racist for questioning me. Why am I giving Mr. Nathan Wade all of this cash? Because I don't have checks. How dare you assume that I do things the legal way? It's not like I'm a district attorney or anything. What I find so disgusting is that our political leaders, especially those on the left and the rhinos, you should be setting the bar high. You are in a position of leadership. You should be held to a higher standard, but you're not, ever. You're breaking laws. You're having extramarital affairs. You're doing this. You're doing that. You're influence peddling this. You are insider trading. You're doing that. You're not held to the same standard as Americans are. And that's a damn shame, because I know a lot of good American people who just want to live their lives. They want to save up money to have generational wealth for their offspring, right? They want to own a home. They want to attain the American dream, but they can't, because we have so much inflation going on right now, and the GDP is out of this world. Our debt is $34 trillion, and they just keep spending and spending and spending. It's disgusting. It really is. It's disgusting. And here we have Joe Biden lecturing us on shrinkflation. Bidenomics is working. We got to blame these companies. How dare they? How dare they charge you the same amount of money and give you less product? They're not charging us the same, Joe. Nothing is the same, Joe. You ruined it. You blew it. You fucked the whole country. You sold us out to communists. Way to go, Joe. This whole administration is by far the worst administration we have ever seen in American history.
I don't need any man to foot my bills, Willis said.
She don't need no man.
Ugh.
Just stocked up
I'll
on
take
a
man if
ton
I
of
want
Paleo
to.
Valley beef sticks. If you are a fan, this is the time.
By the way, yeah, she kept bringing up the
Beef
dad.
sticks.
Like, my dad would be disappointed that I only had $40,000 at my house. Just
That's a lot of money. Now you don't want to tell people where you're at. And the reason why she said that she traveled the way she did and had Nathan buy all of her plane tickets and shit was so that people didn't know like it was her traveling with him. Like it was such a disgusting display on the stand. Nathan Wade, especially. Here he's acting like he's Jay-Z and Fanny is Beyonce. We can't even go into a restaurant, without people like taking our pictures and wanting to talk to us and stuff. They think they're celebrities is what they do. They think they are. It's like these people, these diversity picks get into office and then all of a sudden they use that and go after Trump to gain popularity. It's like a popularity contest with some of these Democrats in power today. And it's really sickening. It really is. Like, oh, we can't go anywhere. We can't go anywhere without people recognizing us. Oh, fuck out of here, man. Where's the humility at anymore? Like, who are you? You're a human being, just like the rest of us. Only you're making some really bad decisions in your life that you will be held accountable for. And the reason that they're not held accountable is because they got that stupid D next to their name. It's ridiculous. It's retarded, and I'm sick and tired of it.
it's like, okay. By the way, the dad, former Black Panther, in case you were interested in why he was so motivated to have cash. He's a former Black Panther. Which just a little note as to the possible.
Listen to the way you're framing this.
Yeah, exactly.
I mean,
I am
you
framing it
listen
as someone with a very extreme group. The history of that.
Well, let me play the counterpoint here and just point out what the New York Times said. Willis sat in the witness chair for hours, or more precisely, she reclined in the chair. Woman-splaining how men define relationships and how they would end them. She
also said, oh, I'm not on trial here, no matter how hard you put me on trial. And then she proceeded to say, well, I did not discuss this with Mr. Wade. I didn't discuss today's testimony with Mr. Wade, but I did have a few choice words about your lies here. And then like the judge had to literally step in and go like, look, chill, because you are being a hostile. They were calling her a hostile witness, which she was from RIP. And she's like, Mr. Wade is a Southern gentleman. Me, not so much. It was so fucking embarrassing. I'm over here going, did you just say that? What kind of Lifetime movie BET bullshit is that? Like, get the fuck off your Black Power horse. I know you grew up in a house full of hatred and it spilled out into your adult life, but grow the fuck up. Who do you think you are? Because you are a district attorney, you used your position and now you're a slime ball and you've been exposed. And that's exactly what happens to people who are disgusting, dirty dicks. They get exposed for being the disgusting, dirty dicks that they are, or that they sit on.
So while wearing a fuchsia dress and a single strand of beads around her neck, her
Like a
hair was
pearl
styled with
necklace.
soft shoulder-length curls, and her eye makeup was precise and intentional. Shush, this is journalism. She was a singular bright spot surrounded by a black-robed judge and lawyers, mostly in somber suits. Only Willis and her main inquisitor, Merchant, who wore a cobalt blue dress under a white blazer, stood out in the room's sobriety. Willis walked into court as a woman on the ropes. Some would say the hearing was a mess of her own making. Others might believe the whole mess is a distraction from more important matters. But either way, Willis fought back with gobsmacking fury, defiant in power pink.
What the heck? That editor needs to be fired. You're literally allowing your so-called journalist to write this bullshit. This woman, you're holding her on a pedestal, and she literally ruined a fucking marriage. Why? How do you think Nathan Wade's kids feel? How do you think his children feel that this lady is screwing their dad? Best believe me, they don't want no part of Fanny being their stepmom. And I pray that Nathan Wade's kids give her the business every time they see her and him together. I hope they never accept you, you home wrecking whore. Sorry, not sorry. I'm kind of impartial to the women who've been cheated on, or the men that have been cheated on, because nobody deserves that shit. Nobody deserves that dishonesty. It's disgusting. My God, man, I pray, dude. And you know how I used to be, you guys? This is how I used to be in my life. And I know I've changed for the better. And that is what life is all about. It's about change. It's about bettering yourself. You know, you can always perfect yourself and be the best version of yourself. If you're not perfect today, try again. Go to sleep and sleep on it and go, shit. Okay, so I did this kind of wrong yesterday. What can I do to change that, to make myself better? You're not supposed to be worse off than you were 10 years ago. That means you ain't living your best life. You know how I used to think? And this is how OG gangster I used to be. I said to my boyfriends, my potential suitors, I looked dead in their face and I says, if you want to cheat on me, I'm going to fuck your brother. I'm going to sleep with your best friend. So go ahead. I fucking dare you. And guess what? They didn't cheat. And you know what really sucks is when you're with somebody and they say they're not cheating, but they are, and you find out, and then they still look at you in your face and they're like, I didn't do that. Fuck you. You're sick. Eat shit. I deserve better. And a lot of people do deserve better, but yet they can't find the willingness to move on. And then once you do move on, you realize, oh my God. And you finally find somebody who treats you how you deserve to be treated. You look back and you're like, well, that was a life lesson. Let's move on. You know, so I used to think like that. I used to be like, you know what? You fuck me, I'm gonna fuck you just as hard, if not harder. I'm gonna always one up you. Know that. And you know what I do anymore? Here's how I know I've changed. I will not waste my fucking time with you at all. You do me dirty, I will pretend I never met you and that you don't even exist to me. That's it. You're written off forever. If you're not team me, if you're not here to help me grow, what the hell am I doing with you? Bye. And it's so easy when you know what your worth is. And then you add tax to it. But apparently Fani Willis here thinks that she can evade taxes, and I pray like hell the hammer comes down. And I have a video for you after this one. I just want to hear out Glenn Beck. I love Glenn Beck. I think he's brilliant. I have a video for you that's going to blow your ever-loving minds. Because remember that hammer, it's bound to drop. And I think we got it.
Incredible. By the way, I think that's the same story that ends this way. The hearing resumes on Friday. Ms. Willis is expected to take the stand for more grilling. The defense lawyers will likely crowd again onto one side of the packed courtroom. They are, in aggregate, a sea of boxy wool suits and white male faces.
Oh
my gosh. What the hell kind of coverage is? Wait. An aggregate sea of white face.
My gosh.
What the hell? Again, onto one side of the packed courtroom. They are, in aggregate, a sea of boxy wool suits and white male faces.
My gosh.
What?
For all you straight white males out there, you all are okay with me. I am so sick and tired of the demonization of Caucasian people. I myself know a few Caucasians who are just disgusting. Downright bleh, bleh. But I don't blame the whole race. And the fact that we live in a society today where white people are constantly demonized on social media, shame on you. I think we need a law, especially for kids. If you're not 18, you're not allowed to be on social media at all. Sorry, not sorry.
The hell kind of coverage is an aggregate sea of white faces? What the hell is this? It's like they just hired Ibram Kendi to cover the trial. What is going on? It's embarrassing.
Distraction.
Here's one thing. We're going to get back to the actual testimony because it's fun eating. But let me just give you something that I found useful to understand what happened yesterday. Megan Kelly said yesterday on X, watching the Fani Willis, Nathan Wade hearing, they are toast, capitalized toast. One, her former close friend testified that the romantic relationship began well prior to when Fanny hired him, by years, which means they lied to the court. Two, Wade claimed Fanny reimbursed him for all the expensive trips, but no record of that because it was all in cash. OMG. He definitely got caught lying on his earlier court submissions in divorce court and attempted to say the reason he falsely swore that he had no receipts was because he only had credit card statements. Well, I mean, hello, she writes, I have secondhand embarrassment. Credit card statement, that is a receipt, you dope. He testified he had no records of it.
Yeah, and then they're like, you don't have credit card receipts? Oh, yeah, I have those. What the fuck do you think a receipt is? My God. I'm over here yelling, like, while Fani Willis was testifying. She's like, my black daddy told me to save cash because that's what black people do. And I'm over here going, and my mommy and my daddy told me to always save receipts. Come with receipts, baby. You should see the amount of containers my mother has of receipts only. I started doing that. I did. I'm like, bitch, I'm a hoarder now because of you. She's like, how many years of receipts do you got? I said, only this year. I always file mine electronically. But she's like, I got 10 years of receipts. I said, I know you do. She goes, look, man, if you want to make sure that your ass is covered, especially when it comes to taxes, you make sure you have receipts. Boy, this is a shit show. This is a complete and total shit show. And when all else fails, divert your attention to President Trump, divert your attention and pull out the race card every time. That's their playbook every single time. It is so predictable. You almost know what's going to come out of their mouths next. You're like this. I want to look away, but I can't. It's like that damn train wreck, man. My God.
And then yesterday was, you don't have credit card statements? Well, yeah, I have that.
I have those, but
that's
no
not a receipt. Oh, I'm sorry. I didn't know we were talking to a third grader.
And of course, obviously, I guarantee he submitted credit card statements for purchases and expense reports at his office. I guarantee he's done that, as every other person who's ever, given a expense report has done. It's just so bad. And Glenn, like you mentioned, the friend who said this started in 2019, which would be basically the whole thing's blown up if they lied about the starting point of this affair. That was the second witness who came in and called by the defense to testify to this fact. The first one they came in was one of his attorneys, and he got out of it with attorney-client privilege. So they had a second person who was going to say it, but was able to get out of it on a technicality. Or they obviously wouldn't have called him if he wasn't going to say this. And they now have multiple, witnesses, but only one on the record saying that it was happened in 2019. So it is like, this is a catastrophe for them.
Yeah.
And everything that you're getting from the coverage is, number one, she's a strong black woman, and number two, she was wearing fuchsia.
Guess what? It was beautiful.
Oh, okay.
It was just beautiful. And she stood out in the room as a bright, bright light.
Yeah, right. Bright light my ass. My God, she was an eyesore with her backwards on dress and her American flag that was upside down. You're right, Fanny. Our flag is upside down. We are a nation in distress if we have leaders like you. Facts. All right, you guys, bombshell, leaked audio. Guess who's at the helm? Guess who it is? Fani Willis. Leaked audio by a whistleblower. Here we go. This was warning about misuse of campaign funds, which is a federal crime, by the way. You fucked, man. The Hill. Thank you for posting this, The Hill, because here is Fani Willis whistleblower. Warned DA about the misuse of campaign funds, and then she was fired. Fired! You're fired. Ooh, oh man, this is not going good for Fani Willis. Here we go.
Bombshell new audio appears to show a whistleblower privately warned embattled Georgia DA Fani Willis that her top aide was abusing federal funds. Now, in the audio, Willis appears to agree with this whistleblower and say that she'd look into it. Yet a little less than 2 months later, the staffer who raised the concerns was fired. Let's take a listen to that audio.
She is very ratchet.
He told everybody in front of Crystal, Deontay, everybody, we're going to get MacBooks, we're going to do that, we're going to get swag, we're going to use it for travel. I said, you cannot do that. It's a very, very specific grant. Took me off. I questioned Junior DA. There's kids in there from out of the county, all this. Took me off Junior DA. I did not want to do it. He made it look as if I wasn't doing what I needed to do because I questioned him. Because I knew for a fact, Mr. Cuffey respectfully did not know what he was doing, period.
So I respect that is your assessment. It was clear to me that you and Mr. Cuffey were not getting along. And I'm not saying that your assessment is wrong. I want you to really listen to the words I'm saying.
She also did the same to Miss Yearty. She slammed Miss Yearty and said that she was let go of her job for not doing her job. But in all actuality, Miss Yearty had to resign. She was brought forth with this option. It was either you resign or we fire you. And so Miss Yearty chose to resign. Miss Yearty knew a little too much, and that is why she was fired. She knew about Nathan Wade and Fani Willis long before Fanny appointed him as special prosecutor in the Fulton County versus Donald Trump case. So that's why she was let go, and that came back to bite her in the ass real hard. These ads, man.
20,000 children in the middle of New York City without anybody seeing. They are being put into buses. They are given certain clothes. Some of them were taken out in boxes. You can call them crates. You can call them caskets of dead people, although they were live children in there.
What is this?
I mean, we could talk about tunnels all we want. The non-believers will say, where's the proof?
This is the first YouTube ad where I'm not skipping it.
When I go into the tunnels, I can't take my phone, and if you're going to do it, the psychopaths will eliminate you. So some pictures I saw that are real, and I was surprised to see them.
But there are many children down there.
Yes. But they're not in the main rooms. They're in the hidden rooms within the walls of the tunnels.
Do you have an idea of the number of children that we're talking about?
It's huge. It's numbers you can't comprehend.
Okay, so I'm gonna have to watch that. All right. What are we on here? What time? 2 hours, 3 minutes, and 29 seconds. 2:03:29. Okay. Yep. I'm definitely gonna have to watch that one. Sickening what's going on in today's world, man. It's fucking sickening.
Cuffey, and this is my personal opinion too.
I'll rewind it a little bit so we can get you back up.
This is my personal opinion too.
Sorry, guys. Wow.
Wrong. And I'm not saying that your assessment is wrong. I want you to really listen to the words I'm saying.
Cuffey, and this is my personal opinion too. One woman to another is dangerous to your administration.
Yeah. So the implication here is that this whistleblower came forward about another employee who wanted to misuse grant funds. And after coming forward in that kind of, nervous, heated, excited way that we just heard, she was the one that was ultimately fired.
All right. So I want Robbie to do what, do you guys ever remember the clip I shared of Robbie like screaming at Brianna? Because she's like halfway like in the conservative, but more into like a leftist. She's like on the fence, but more left leaning. Robbie is straight up like conservative, like pulling no punches. He is red pilled. She is, I don't know what she is, but there was a time where Robbie and Brianna kind of were not seeing eye to eye, and he's like, I don't give a fuck, Brianna. It was so funny. I was like, ooh, I earned some major respect for Robbie that day because he literally let her have it. And I was like, and she looked like a deer in headlights, like, is he really saying this to me? Yes. Yes, he is, Brianna. Wake up. So now I'm kind of seeing a little bit more like Brianna coming to like the common sense side of things, but she still reverts here and there. I want to see if she reverts fully back into a leftist because I stopped watching them because of her.
Now, you also did hear Fani Willis say, I know that you guys have been having trouble at work. So this is a snippet of a broader circumstance. Who knows? There's other reasons that people could be fired. Sometimes people are substantively on the right with their employment problems that
absolutely
outstrip the conflict at issue here. Who knows?
Absolutely. We should proceed cautiously. This whistleblower who was fired spoke to the Free Beacon, the Washington Free Beacon, and provided this audio. But I have to say, what's alleged in here is extremely serious. What the whistleblower says is that this grant, and the whistleblower worked doing in the DA, in Fani Willis's office, doing work with nonviolent juvenile offenders. This is important work. That they received a grant from the federal government earmarked for the creation of a center of youth empowerment and gang prevention. Again, that sounds like a very worthy cause for public funding. And what she says is this other employee, Michael Cuffey, wanted to use it to purchase swag, computers, and travel to misuse funds for the greater enjoyment of the office. And she went to Fani Willis and said, he can't do that. That's not what it's for. This is exactly what we want. This is what everyone wants. When there's misuse of public funding for government employees to speak up and report it and say something about it.
There's actually a law. It's a federal law. It's the Whistleblowers Act that actually protects people against, being targeted for being honest and telling the truth and being forthcoming. So we have the Whistleblowers Protection Act. That is federal law. And here, this woman was fired. I'm pretty sure we're going to be hearing a lot more from this woman because I don't think she deserved to get fired for telling the truth. Hey, this guy here, who is your campaign leader, he is wanting to misuse these funds that are appropriated for at-risk juveniles. And so she was fired because of that. Good man, this chick deserves a lawsuit. I hope she files one. I hope you file one, and I hope you get some wrongful termination money.
What we all want. So good for her for doing that. And Fani Willis is trying to calm her down. It's clear this was a difficult workplace that she didn't get along with the person. Fani Willis tries to calm her down, and then we don't know what happens, but she lets her go 2 months later. A very serious accusation that we would need to learn more about. Obviously, we need to hear the other side of the story. But I'm glad this person has come forward because, frankly, independent of the Trump case, it really doesn't have anything to do with the Trump case. It could speak, further to just Fani Willis's judgment. Obviously, she's involved in this other national story about whether she whether she herself misappropriated public funds by hiring her lover at the time.
She also on the stand admitted when she was asked, how did you get that money that you stash in your house, Fanny? She said, well, I took a little bit from my first campaign. You are not allowed to do that. You're not allowed to take campaign funds and store them as fungible cash in your home. It's illegal. Oh my. This is going to snowball out of control. And I wouldn't be surprised if we see her in an orange jumpsuit, what she belongs in. Hopefully she wouldn't put it on backwards.
who's now divorcing his wife, and they are a couple, it seems to be. And then that not that hiring him was necessarily wrong, but then he took her on trips. So it was in some indirect way a kickback. And that's all coming out through his own, this Nathan Wade, his divorce action going on.
Right. So again, the reason this is a national story at all is because there has been a political effort. That's not a value judgment. I think that's just descriptive. A political effort to undermine the Georgia case against Donald Trump by having increased scrutiny at Fani Willis. And it's dug up now, both the allegation that she hired her lover who was underqualified to do the work and overpaid to do the work in this kind of a kickback scheme. And now also that she may have retaliated against a whistleblower. Again, unsubstantiated at this point. We don't know if the other person that was whistleblown on was also fired. Maybe there was a lot of discord in the office and people had to be fired for interpersonal reasons. We really don't know.
But she legit ran on a campaign that she was replacing the former DA because he was so corrupt. There was extortion brought up. There was interpersonal sexual relationships going on in the district attorney's offices. And so she was supposed to be this beacon of hope, this strong Black woman that was going to make everything right and do everything by the book. And she destroyed that. She literally is worse than the prior DA. Oh my, this is so embarrassing. And then to use your race. I am so sick and tired of people using their race. Damn it. Guess what? If you go and spill a cup of coffee, right? You buy a cup of coffee, you accidentally fumble, you slip, maybe you step on your shoelace because you forgot to tie it. Well, damn it, it's because I'm white that I spilled that coffee. No, you forgot to tie your shoelace, asshole. Or I'm robbing a bank today. Oh, it's because I'm white, I robbed a bank. No, asshole, you made the decision. Your character's a little bit askewed. You need to fix your character. Your content of your character sucks. It ain't because you're Black. It ain't because you're Hispanic. It's not because you're Asian. It's not because you're white. It's not because you're a man. It's not because you're a woman. It's not because you're a cat person. It's not because you're a dog person. You're a fucking joke. That's why. Straighten your shit up. Get your shit together. Period. Has nothing to do with your skin color. You had no choice in what your skin color is. You had no choice whether you were born a man or a woman. It is what it is. My God, I'm so sick and tired of the excuses. The entitlement. Oh, I'm a strong Black woman. That's great. Be a strong woman, but you don't have to focus so much on your race. And then when things go wrong, you pull that victimhood card. Get out of that victimhood mentality because it's all gravy. You're a strong Black woman when things are going your way. And the very second things are not going your way, it's the white man's fault. Get out of here. Shut up. Man, people need to start looking at themselves and doing some major soul searching. Go have your come to Jesus moment. Do something. But damn it, don't fall back on that racist bullshit. Oh, I'm my race. Shut up. This is the freest land of them all where anybody can be anything that they want. So sick of this shit.
But that does seem to be the implication. But in a lot of ways, I don't know. We don't need this story to know that Fani Willis has already demonstrated bad judgment in the context of adjudicating Donald Trump's case.
If this is true, in some ways, this is worse.
It's worse.
It's very bad.
The point is that Fani Willis, even if it was just mere optics, there was an interesting write-up in Politico a few days ago, written by Ankush Karadori.
Sure, right,
and
Lisa
they
Ann.
made the argument that, you know, having a relationship isn't illegal, even having a relationship with someone that you're working with, even if it's cheating, there's cheating on their spouse. None of those things are illegal, whatever you think the ethical implications of them are. But the question is whether or not he was overpaid, and whether or not he was hired when otherwise he wouldn't have been hired because it inured to the personal benefit of Fani Willis, which again.
Well, yeah, Brianna, come on. It doesn't take a rocket scientist to say Nathan Wade was completely not capable, incapable completely. He didn't have the qualifications to try a RICO case. Who more looks like the RICO Act that should be given to Fani Willis? Fanny and Nathan, they were running this extravagant scheme to get government money to prosecute a former United States president. And this dude doesn't have the credentials to do nothing but say, oh, did your back hurt? Oh, you better rack up those chiropractor bills because we can get that person who rear-ended you. We can get them. We can put liens on their houses and all this, that, and the other. Personal injury lawyers, criminal defense lawyers, man, they defend the scumbags of the scumbags. And I'm over here going, this dude did not have the qualifications to try a RICO case. He didn't have he never even tried a misdemeanor case, let alone a federal RICO case against a former United States president. Yeah, Brianna, I would say he was way underqualified to do the job. My God, it doesn't take and Denny here, look, don't just vote red because you don't know. You need to do your track record to see if they're rhinos or not. Because look at Mike DeWine, my governor. Look what he did. You know, he's a Republican, but never again. He's so lucky he's not up for re-election because I would never vote for him again. So you have to really do your research into who you're voting for. Don't vote just blue or red because that's what you've been told to do. Do your research and see what their track record is. If they are an America First Republican, by all means, go on. But make sure, for the love of God, you're doing your research into especially your people on your school boards, because we just had a leftist make her way on there. Now we got a bunch of gay shit in schools. So I'm over here like, let me find out. Let me find out. I'll be the first one to rip my kid out of school.
And I think distinguishes it from the Cori Bush case, where at least the Congressional Ethics Office looked at this and said, well, he is qualified to work security for her, and he is getting paid a standard amount, and she does have these real security needs based on the number of threats that she's getting. This Fani Willis stuff is different. And the case that this political argument makes is that her worst crime is basically how she's addressed it since the scandal has come out. She hasn't taken on the criticisms head on at all. She's made these vague allusions to the fact that she is being attacked for racial reasons. And this person is, at the end of the day, you just have to address fraud accusations like this quickly and then deal with it. The case can be reassigned to a different prosecutor. There's a lot of political interests the Democrats have in resolving this and moving on. And instead of doing that, she seems to be treading water. She has to make a response filing on February 2nd, as I understand it. And, you know, the article says, well, she's in her rights to wait until then to respond in a more fulsome manner. But in the interim, her reputation is just getting worse and worse. And she's taking down with it the integrity of this important case against Donald Trump.
And this whistleblower, I didn't use her name, but her name is Amanda Timpson. She has been named. This isn't an anonymous accusation against Fani Willis. She has come forward to present her side of the story. She gave audio to support her side of the story. You know, because I always caution, you can only do so much with people anonymously complaining about the environment in their work. I mean, that's true of whoever the administration is. It gets to be a little like the media loves it. Like, oh, insider in X office says everything's dysfunctional, everything's bad, and this person's horrible. Okay, well, if you're not going to say it on the record, if you're not going to put your own credibility at stake, we can only do so much with it. She's come forward, which I think is important in a case like this, and we would like to hear more about the situation. And it doesn't really impact their argument against Trump, but it does look very bad.
Just get rid of her. I just can't for the life of me understand why she's not gone already, for the sake of the country. Democratic donors should be lining up to say, I'm going to give you some cushy job elsewhere if you just stepped out of this case and let it proceed, because the stakes are just so much higher than you. Obviously, she has, I shouldn't say that. But the implication is that, I
mean, I don't quite know what the precise mechanism is here. Could she recuse
Maybe
herself
Brianna
and they have appointed some other DA to handle it? Does she need to actually exit the office? I don't know.
No, I don't think she has to exit the office at all. But I think the case can be reassigned to a new prosecutor.
By her.
No, I think firmly she needs to get the fuck out of the district attorney's office first and foremost. I think she needs to be fired from her position, and I think she needs to be held liable. I think she needs to be held accountable. I think that she has some responsibility that she needs to take. You are a scam artiste, Fani. It's Fani. No, it ain't. It's Fanny. It's Fani Willis. Fani Willis. Own it. You did it. own it. I think you should be in an orange jumpsuit. I think you need to go to prison. I think that you not only extorted your way into the district attorney's office, but you are just a slime ball. You're a hoe. You're a damn hoe. And that's all I have to say about Fani Willis. And I hope and pray that she is recused from the Trump case. And I hope it dissolves right in front of everybody's eyes, because it's been a witch hunt since day one. You know, I can't even stress how crazy it was, where you're watching and you go to bed because Trump has got this in the bag. Man, he was leading Biden everywhere, in every state. It was like, okay, I'm going to go to sleep because I know that America has done the right thing. I know that we've all voted for the man that needs to be in there. And then I wake up and I have the biggest pit in my stomach. What went wrong? What happened? Where did this? Wait a minute. A lead by that much? How? It's impossible. There were dead voters. There were more people voting than there were registered for every state. This was the biggest scam in American history. And yet, it's the most secure, fair election we've ever seen. Get rid of the Dominion voting system completely. Get rid of it. Paper ballots. That's it. You only get to go to vote on election day. No more mail-in ballots. I don't care. You can't get there, then you don't vote. Oh, well, call me. I'll pick you up. I'll get you there. If we got to rent a wheelchair or a scooter, I'll get your ass there. But my God, government ID. That's so hard. Is that so hard? On election day, paper ballots, registered voters with driver's licenses or state IDs. Oh, that's right. I forgot. Black people can't get state IDs. What am I thinking? It's funny because every time I go out, guess what? We all have IDs, no matter what we look like. I can't believe that Democrats said that voter ID is racist. Oh my God. I flushed the toilet earlier. Oh, that's racist. My God, I can't even anymore. I really can't. But here we have a president who literally opened our borders wide open and let 22 million people into our country. And what? Now he's given them a path to citizenship, right to vote. Are you kidding me? Are you kidding me? I don't see how America rioted over a fentanyl addict who literally overdosed and died. Rioted. Streets or cities across America burned to the goddamn ground. Pardon my French, God. My bad. I'm trying. Burned them down to the ground, to the studs. And what? Nothing? Because we've been invaded? You're just going to sit there, America? I'm not saying that you should go out and riot, but damn it. I do have to bring something up, and I almost forgot. And I do have to bring up one more thing. Oh, this pains me to do this. It really does. But my attorney told me I had to. He told me I had to, and I don't want to do this. But when you have your own attorney telling you to, you do it. Because I have children, and I better think of them, is what he said. And judging by what goes on with this whole conservatives going to prison without charges for years, I should have I should have thought about it more, but I didn't, and I have to correct my mistake, and I have to show you what I did if I can find the damn post. Because Megan, I know Megan, you've been sharing it every day, and I feel terrible that I didn't think this one out very clearly. It should never be in a Democrat-ran state that's 99.999% Democrat. Because if so, then guess what happens? You see patriots going to prison without charges, and you're definitely not getting out. I'm trying to find my post here. I wanted to organize something to unite America. And unfortunately, it can't be done. Here it is. So I made this flyer up. I was really proud of myself. And my attorney told me to make sure that I tell everybody publicly that it is absolutely incapable of doing. We cannot do it. It's not going to happen. And I feel so terrible about this because I wanted to see America unite against this. I really did. But to keep it in DC, this got to be redone. It's got to be redone, and it's got to be done in a state that allows conservatives to congregate freely without serious repercussions, simply for being conservative, simply for being Trump supporters. That puts a big old target on your back, and all condensed into one area. We already know. Plus, he brought up the fact you already posted it on social media. Are you kidding me? Are you stupid? Think about your kids, Jen. I'm going to listen to my attorney today. I'm going to choose to listen. And I fought with this for many, many days. I got to speak to him Friday, and I didn't even know about my expungement, and neither did he until Saturday. So I spoke with him, and he brought this up, and he says, look, I love what you're trying to do here, but do not go there and think that nothing's going to happen to you. He said, make sure that you readjust this and do it in a more conservative state. And unfortunately, you guys, DC is compromised. We already know that the FBI, the DOJ, weaponized, politicized. So it pains me to have to cancel this event. It pains me to do that, but I cannot get those words out of my mind. Think about your kids, Jen. They're all you got. So what am I going to do? So I will brainstorm this with fellow patriots, maybe some people that are well known. We'll all get together on this and brainstorm precisely where we can have this. Maybe it would be some fun in the sun in Florida. Maybe it could be in the free state of Texas, but it definitely cannot be March 1st at 1 o'clock at 1600 Pennsylvania Avenue. I don't know what I was thinking. I was just trying to grasp for some hope and some faith that we could do this. But we already know what happened last time. And with President Joe Biden, I can't believe that just doesn't sound right to me. With Joe Biden in the White House, that is a very unpredictable person at this point. We have war in the Middle East. We have our country completely screwed up as it is. A bunch of patriots uniting, showing that we're united. I thought it would be a really good idea, man. I really did. Unfortunately, it just doesn't work that way. So if you guys got any bright ideas, if you want to throw some at me, follow me on Twitter or X. My Patreon is open. I'm on social media. You could just let me know, but I have to right now it's TBA. It's to be announced. A new date will be announced, which really sucks because a lot of people shared this and stuff. So I'm going to have to repost it and let people know. So that was the last. I had to end it with some bad news, and I'm really sorry that I had to do that. But when your attorney tells you to do something, you should probably listen. All right, you guys. I love you very much. Thank you. I'm glad you found my channel too. Right, Eric. It sucks, but what are we going to do? Because I wanted this so bad. I wanted to unite people and see everybody come united, you know? I want everybody to unite because America united once before and we could do it again. But we have to think about this one and think about it long term and somehow, some way get people to find out about it without, you know, the wrong people finding out about it, if you know what I mean. Because I've seen it for myself where my friend is a gay conservative and he's a gay Trump supporter. And I don't care what anybody says about that. I really don't. You have your opinion about that. I'll have my own. Now, my friend who used to do things make big things, right? Big protests for like kids at pride events and kids at drag shows. Well, the wrong people caught wind of it, right? And these neo-Nazis showed up, and it's crazy because they all wear the same clothing. It's khakis and black shirts, and 100% they're feds. It's just, it is what it is. They're feds. We sniffed you out, dude. We see you. You're the same people that keep coming to these events. And it's really unfortunate that the internet, it's a great place, but it could also be used against you. And so I have to put this out there now that please don't go, because I won't be there. I'm sorry. And what maybe good. See, I'm not the only one. Good. Because look, sometimes we have to look past our differences, you guys. We really do. We have to look. I know some really hardcore conservatives out there that can't look past it. And I'm over here going, but you should. You should look past it, because you just should. If they're an ally, just look past your differences. You know, I actually ran into a guy in Florida, actually, on the Ferris wheel at Icon Park, and he was a gay guy, and I had my Trump Never Surrender shirt on, and he's like, I love Trump. He loved the LGBTQ community, and he has. He's been for gay marriage since the 80s. Now they've spun this big old web of lies that Trump is anti-LGBT. No, he just doesn't want pornography in school, right? He just doesn't want pornography in our children's hands, which is that too much to ask? We don't want our kids to read about this type of shit. We want our kids to be kids. I wonder why that's such a wrong thing these days. Event canceled. Oh. Future date and new plays to be announced. I hope everybody's not mad at me, but I wanted to put out there why. I want to leave with one story that was really disheartening. It's really bad. It's really bad. There was a guy in Wisconsin, right? And he was on Libs of TikTok. Libs of TikTok just put this story out. I think it was the night before last. I shared it. I share a lot on my Twitter. I just want to show you. Oh, here, the Babylon Bee, East Palestine, Ohio, witnesses another train wreck. The Babylon Bee posting some more truth. Joe Biden literally came here over a year later, and I'm going to do my due diligence to make sure my fellow Ohioans know exactly who came here first, who was here first, who got FEMA to start kicking in money for the people of East Palestine. It wasn't Joe Biden, and it definitely wasn't Pete Buttigieg. No. It was Donald Trump who came here first, period. All right. I want to show you guys this last post. Do you guys know who the Sisters of Perpetual Indulgence are? They're a bunch of drag queens who dress up like nuns, like demonic looking nuns. Now, they're in some major heat right now because they have a guy that worked for them or was a drag queen for them, anti-Catholic drag queen. He was just arrested. I'm going to show you why. And it's quite disgusting if you ask me. Anti-Catholic drag queen Adam Westbrook arrested and is facing 4 counts of possession of child exploitative imagery, aka kitty corn, aka CP, and 4 counts of sexual exploitation of a child. Adam was also the human resources director for Outagamie County, Wisconsin, and is pictured in drag with the mayor of Sheboygan, Wisconsin, a infamously Democratic area. Wow. Yeah. Look at these people that are like, that's gross. And why would you want children to see that? Why? I can only think of one thing, and that's to groom them. That's the only thing that I could think of why you would want children to be desensitized to this. It's because you want to promote pedophilia. That's what you want to do. Well, this man is now in jail where he belongs because he was caught up in a sting with the Outagamie County, Wisconsin. He was caught up in a sting with the sheriff's office for trying to entice minors on the internet. And there's probably a lot more people that have been arrested. We're just not finding out about who those people are. So here's the story. We got more details on Adam Westbrook from the Post Millennial. Okay. Sisters of Perpetual Indulgence. Drag queen arrested over child porn allegations in Wisconsin. Lovely. Lovely. On Friday, a drag queen who dresses like a nun with the Bruce Sisters of Perpetual Indulgence was arrested in connection with child pornography and sexual exploitation of a child. While former charges have not yet been filed, the officials with the sheriff's office have recommended charges of 4 counts of possession of child pornography and 4 counts of sexual exploitation of a child. Jail records show that drag queen and Outagamie County, Wisconsin Human Resource Director Adam Westbrook was taken into custody around 3:40 a.m. on Friday. This came after the Neenah Police Department, Neenah Police Department and the State Department of Justice executed a search warrant on his home as a part of a much larger investigation, according to Fox 11. Libs of TikTok broke the news on X, showing Westbrook dressed in drag as a Catholic nun and wearing white face paint alongside the mayor of Sheboygan, Wisconsin. Wow. Photos from the Bruce Sisters of Perpetual Indulgence show in Westbrook in his drag nun costume with other members of this group. Yeah, could you imagine? Imagine what a child thinks when they see this man. I would not want to feel or experience the fear that these kids must feel when they're looking at people like this, especially him. Like, look at that. He just looks straight up demonic. My God. There they are. Wow. Oh, and they're just so innocent. They just want to exist with the rest of us. They just want their rights. They just want their rights to be whoever they want to be. They just want to be those minor attracted persons, and you be okay with that. Disgusting. The Kenosha County Sheriff's Office said that the arrest was part of a larger investigation to protect children, so they will not be releasing any information about the arrests. No former charges have been filed yet, and Westbrook is due in court Monday. We are shocked by the charges and have begun the process to terminate the individual, said Outagamie County Executive Tom Nelson in a statement. We will continue to cooperate with authorities and do all that we can to assist in the investigation. According to his LinkedIn, Westbrook took over as a human resource director for Outagamie County in September of last year and lists performing as one of the things he is passionate about in his bio. Wow. Andy, go here. I did some digging on the drag queen who is now a child sex abuse subject in Wisconsin. Adam Westbrook, also known as Adam Huville, is married to Michael Westbrook. Oh, this not good. This not good. This is not good. He is a teacher at the Menasha Joint School District. Wow. So his husband is a teacher. Huh. Well, I wonder if anything will come about that. I don't know. In May 2023, the Sisters of Perpetual and they were honored by the Los Angeles Dodgers. I wonder how they feel about honoring a bunch of pedophiles. Yay. With the Community Hero Award at their 10th annual LGBTQ plus Pride Night. The group of men who mock Catholics by dressing up as nuns were cited for their life-saving work they have done tirelessly for decades. Yeah, does that include child pornography or no? Asking for a friend. I mean, I guess not. I guess the Dodgers didn't really vet who they were honoring now, did they? I wonder if they're going to be forced to give back that award. Probably not, because they'll probably be called homophobic if they do. Oy vey. All right, guys, that does it for my show today. I really appreciate you guys coming. God bless you all. Hi, Queen Bee. Hello, my friend. Hello, hello, hello. Thank you guys for joining me. Thank you guys for being such amazing people. Thank you guys for loving your country. I know we had a couple of trolls in here. Thank you for ignoring them. Whatever, let them be miserable. That's all we can do at this rate. You know what I mean? I don't even care. You don't even want to know how many people say the most outlandish shit on my channel. I don't care anymore. Let them speak. The more they speak, the more they literally insert their own foot in their mouths because they look like fucking idiots. And if you guys want to have a go at them, I don't care. Do what you got to do. I really don't. Just might be mindful of what you say, because especially on platforms such as YouTube, if you call somebody out after they say something off the hook and outlandish, they label you as the bully. Make that make sense? It doesn't. All right, guys. I love you very much, man. Thank you. And please, if you have a past, and if you've changed your ways and if you're not that same person no more, be proud of that. Be proud of that. And if you have a felony from eons ago, do your best to research. You could get rid of it. And let me tell you what, that is the most freeing feeling ever. And I appreciate you guys being with me on this journey. It has been amazing. It's been one hell of an amazing ride. And I love you all to pieces and bits. And if you guys want to get together and work out a day and time where we could all get together and show our love for this country, our support for President Trump, our support for stopping all of this madness, please get with me on X. Please follow me and let me know, hey, I want to work with you on this. And I'd be glad to do that. So, guys, thank you again. Have a blessed day. Happy President's Day. Joe Biden. Love you guys. I'll see you guys soon. Make sure you hit the like button. Make sure you hit the follow button. Donations are kindly appreciated, but they are not necessary. One more sponsor. I forgot. I almost forgot. Where is it at here? One more. Ah, here it is. Now, Giza sheets, not Gaza. Giza Dream sheets. They are phenomenal. I'm a sheet snob and I do own a few pairs of Giza Dream sheets. Now, if you put in promo code JustJen or you use www.mypillow and you put in that www.mypillow / or is that backslash? I think it's forward. I don't know. /JustJen. It'll automatically apply my discount here and you guys can save a lot of monies. A lot. Giza Dreams bed sheets. Giza, not Gaza. Make sure you visit mypillow.com. Make sure you visit zippixtoothpicks.com. Use promo code JustJen for Blackout Coffee as well. And you guys can get a fat discount. Let me hook you up a little bit. All right, guys, I love you all. Make sure you stay American. Be proud. And 260 days left until we can get this country back to where it belongs. Love you guys. I am counting the days, just so you know. Bye. Thank you, mods. Love you guys. See ya. Bye.